Oh my god, I've been talking to myself on mute that whole freaking time. My goodness. I that shows you how tired I am. Ay, ay, ay. How are you, Lottie? I'll repeat everything. I hear you're tired, as I am tired. And I am in the same boat with Repo. I want to play it. It's will I mentally be able to play it? There's been a lot recently going on with work and stream and prepping for road trip and getting things done. So we're doing a chill skill research loot filter setup and hopefully a rocket launch here in a little bit. My brain can't handle much more right now. I've probably been talking for the last 15 minutes on mute. Oh well. It's a quiet stream with background noise. I forget how many points we get in here. Is it under support? Nope. That's not what I want. Game guide. But I'll probably do another driving stream this week, and I put a little bit of effort into improving it and hopefully having a better signal when it's not trying to use the cell signal the entire time. And not overheat my phone, because I won't be using the phone at all to do any of the streaming. So we'll see how it goes. I put some money, so it better work. I'll get it all set up after taking the car in for service tomorrow to get everything checked out in case anything needs to get replaced beforehand. I know my brakes were on the edge last time I was in this. I'll probably get those done this time just so that going down a mountain hill, they don't just stop working all of a sudden. That would be bad. If you want to come over and replace them for me for less for free food, you're welcome to come over and do that, but I don't know that you want to do that. And you're not going to be here tomorrow to do it. So. What was what for the brakes? Yeah, replacing. If you want to come in and replace the brakes, you have to come in tomorrow though, because otherwise, yeah, I pay you in food. I'd buy the parts obviously, but I pay you in food for the labor. Mazda CX-5 2016. So it's not an American car. Japanese. Yeah, no, I would consider it if it would be less than the actual cost of just having them do it for me. But flights aren't cheap these days, so. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at the maintenance schedule on that thing and see where I'm at. But there's probably going to be more because I'm going to have them do anything that's due in the next 10,000 miles because I'm going to be driving for 10,000 miles. So there might be other things. I know they did a few things last time at 50,000, but I don't know what else is due between 55 and 65. So And I've already, I'm not gonna have to pay any extra for oil change and tire rotation. All that's just included in what I've already paid for with when I bought the car. So they might be doing other things. So yes, it'll be a nice early morning start for me, taking that over there and sitting the dealer. Yeah, I don't. I just choose not to. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I just choose not to do it. Somewhat of a lazy thing, but mainly I would spend the money on not having to spend that time doing all of that. And my time is worth more than I pay to have somebody do that for me. Yeah, I mean, if you can get somebody to do it cheap, sure. But I've never been a car mechanic. I can check my oil and I can do the wiper fluid and I can check the coolant and add coolant if needed. I know the basics maintenance stuff. Do the wipers, change the air filters, that kind of stuff. Change it. I can change a tire. I saw somebody, oh my God, we were driving up to Chattanooga last weekend and there was this person trying to change a tire on the side of the off ramp from the freeway, and they clearly had no clue how to put a jack on a car because oh my God, they were doing some weird crap to try to get that thing jacked up. But they had the jack underneath the axle behind the wheel trying to jack it up. And I was like, what are you doing? This is just a regular sedan. This is not something fancy. There's a jack point. You put it on, you idiot. So, but I can do the basic stuff. Like that kind of stuff I can do. But when it comes to like, I could change the oil if I chose, but I'd choose not to. When it comes to anything else, nah. I can do the basics. That's it. Let's see here. What was I looking for here? How many skills do I get? How many skill points do I get is the question. Maximum level 20. Okay, good. So I'm not a complete schlub. I do stuff around the house too, so I know general maintenance things. I try to be self-reliant. What am I looking for? Skills. But yeah, part of my new streaming setup in the car is my laptop now on my Surface Book. It's going to be running OBS with all kinds of cool stuff on it that both a DJI action cam and my phone potentially, if I get out of the car, could stream to, and that'll stream it out. So now I've got 2 power inverters in the car from the 2 different accessory ports. I won't. It's not going to go. This Surface maxes out 120 watts, and I got 150 on each of them, so I'm good. The Starlink only takes like 30 or 40 when it's running, so it's going to be a lot of wires running in that car from various places and things. It'll be fun. As long as it works. It's all worked here locally, so hopefully it all works once I put it in the car. Alright, so if we get 20 points, we've already used 4. We'd use 5, 6, 7 to get to that. 12 for all 5 of those. 13. Nah. 18. I want all that. 19. So we have one more point. Nope. 20. I'll get fire arrow. I mean, actually, I don't know. I'm not using fire damage. That's kind of silly to get fire damage in there. So we could put one in here and get a 10%, or we could do... More in here for mana efficiency and crit. Okay. So it's all going to be poison or physical damage, because that's all they do. Physical, minion physical, melee throwing or bow. And intelligence. And then this guy is also physical. So let's see. We're going down this route. Blood tether on boss when you directly cast on hit a boss, dealing physical damage over time. Okay. This is damage over time, which would also be the poison here, right? Like poison, yeah. Okay. That could be minion poison. Minion damage over time. Blood splatter. That seems to be pretty good. Grants your blood splatter grants your minions blood infusion when it hits them. Buff grants more damage for 4 seconds. Okay, interesting. Eh. Interesting. Huh. Okay, what's this route? Cast speed. Eh. Mana cost. Out of mana cost. I mean, it's no mana cost now, so why would I do anything that reduces mana cost? That doesn't make sense. Something must add mana cost in here. So cast speed, crit chance. Directly let it hit a boss or rare enemy at least. Could be interesting. That could be interesting. 5% for intelligence. That could really stack up. Meh. This route seems, I don't understand this mana cost. It doesn't cost any mana in the first place. So why? Okay. Don't want to do physical necrotic. Ooh. This is a toughie. I could do all kinds of stuff here. I feel like I want to finish this one out. But if I'm at 3 right now, 4, 5, 6, 10. That's 10 points. And then if I come this way, 14, 15. $16, 17. Oh, they need the health though. That could be 20. Just finish this part out. Otherwise, I gotta go this way, and I just don't know. I don't want to go this way. This one doesn't feel as useful for my playstyle. So yeah, then we'll just do that. Okay. That's going to be a lot of damage over time. Still physical damage. Intelligence base, and it's going to buff up my minions when I hit them. Which I will inevitably do. Okay. So that's that. Bone Curse. What are we going to do with this thing when we start speccing it? So Bone Curse causes physical damage on this hit, and damage triples. Okay. Your steals damage that counts as an additional hit. We can apply ailments from effects such as chance to ignite on hit. Okay. Versus those enemies. Toggled aura, which surrounds you but has been reduced area and drains your mana over time. You're also inflicted with bone. Ooh, ugh. I don't like that at all. Hi, Mr. Alf. What's up? Huh? You can come sit next to me? Plenty of space. Come here. Big old fur ball. All right, so let's see. More area. Feels like the best one. We'll call that 5. Bone Prison on cast. Adds a 20-second cooldown, though. What's Bone Prison do? Curse summon an area of Bone Prison around the target area, trapping enemies inside. Lasts a long time, it can be attacked and destroyed. Nah. I don't want to go that route. As marked for death for 2 seconds, but costs more mana. The effect overrides marker for the normal duration. What is marked for death? Marked for death is a curse that lasts for 8 seconds. Uses all resistances. Not that way. Armor Shred, which would be good for all the physical damage we're doing. Armor. 4 seconds grants less damage taken. When Marrow Thief triggers, you also healed. That could be a healing thingy then. I could just curse the crap out of stuff and get lots of heals. Interesting. 15 per point. 30 healing. That is not much healing, though. 30? That's kind of poopy. So I like these two so far, and these aren't even like game-changing things on this skill. Bleed chance. Okay, we can add that in there since I could see that being useful. Cast Bone Curse. It now also leaves behind cursed ground for a short duration. Bone Curse times out. You cast Rip Blood on that enemy, a spell dealing physical damage. Okay. Interesting. Alright, what's this direction? Slow duration. I didn't like that one. Mana efficiency. Minion physical damage. When you make a bone curse on your minions, it's going to some more physical damage, but also applies bone curse negative effect. Ew. I'm not sure about that. Chill chance, freeze right now. So none of that's very as useful at all. More damage. All right. So far we have 20 points on completely just passive bits of this. Shortly after casting Bone Curse, cast a Bone Eruption. Causing enemies to take spell physical damage, but Bone Curse costs more mana. Nah. I don't like any of these. I feel like it's just going to be those 4 passives. And call it a day. Yeah. Okay. So that's Bone Curse. And then for movement, for our traversal, not transversal, traversal. Deal damage in a large area. Alright, so you create a new body. Detonate your old body to deal physical damage to enemies around it. And uses health. Okay. So the detonations are bigger. Physical to necrotic. I don't want to do that. I want to stay physical. Physical. More hit damage to cursed enemies, which I'll be doing. With Bone Curse, restore health. Ooh. Nice. I like that. So there's 9 points to do those. You cast Bone Curse around the target location after you arrive. Interesting. Okay. Additional detonations at arrival. I just blow the crap. This whole section sounds amazing. But that causes me to bleed. No. I don't really like the kill threshold things. Haste and Frenzy. When we cast Rip Blood at enemies nearby where you depart, but transplant costs more health. No. I don't like losing health because I'll end up killing myself. So I have to go through that, and I don't want to go through that. So that whole section's gone. This wouldn't be bad to get, unless your detonations leave a pool of blood. That's slowing. Cast speed, cooldown recovery. I like the less health cost. So let's see, if we did 4, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 out of those so far. Then we can do 12, 16. I got 4 more points to play with. That could be good. So 8 times 4 is 32, and this increases back 50% above that. But then we regenerate all the health that we lost. This is an interesting one to investigate again. So what is this one? Minion melee damage. Additional melee damage, potentially. Okay. Leave behind a bone minion, which is a temporary melee minion when you lose transplant, but your previous body no longer detonates. I don't like that. Yeah. Maybe, let me, so, abomination. Physical minion melee. But when he ingests things, stuff happens. So get more melee damage when I get a warrior, get attack speed for a rogue, an area per archer. So he does a lot of melee already. Or he's going to do a lot of melee. So if I increased his damage for 4 seconds every time I teleport, it would do more damage. But is it worth it for 4 seconds of that? So we have, how many? 9, 10, 11. And then we were going to do 12, 16. This would be 19, and this could be 20 to protect me. Would I want to go any further? That would last longer, and that would regen and cost more health, though. I'm going to be getting health from Riptide, though, so I don't really need these guys. Maybe we do that. So this would 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. I got to put 2 in here to get to here, though. If I do this one. 17, 20. And if I get it over 20 with gear, I could pick up the bone armor one. But that's not really necessary. So yeah, so we'll just do all 2 here, get these guys, and then these guys here. Alright, so that's that one. We're still on physical. No necrotic damage, just some poison and physical. And a lot of melee minion damage. And then for the abomination, what are we going to do here? Damage, that feels like a good one. Melee air feels like a good one. Stomp gain on golem. I'm not doing golems. I'm not doing wraiths. It's attack speed after killing an enemy. Limit per 5 seconds, 20. We're going to only happen 20 times every 5 seconds. Interesting. So that could be 10 there. More health and deals more damage of each type of minion absorbed to create it among. So per minion. So what are we doing? 1, 2, we'll do skellies. Oh, okay, never mind. That's kind of useless. I'm only doing one main type. So nah. That would completely destroy my idea, so nope. Health and threat generated. That could be good. Aura of Rot. Poisoning itself and nearby enemies every second. For each second, skeleton row. So it poisons itself and nearby enemies. So if it does that, then I need to have something that heals it too. reduce its attack speed. Not doing mages. I'd like to do that health leech. That would be good. Because then that would offset the damage on area of rot, and then I could still scale my poison damage. Not doing that. Percent of max health restored on Devour. What's Devour? Oh, is that just when it absorbs something? Devouring souls. Okay, so it is absorbing it. Okay. Sacrifice instead of devour. No. We could go up that way and get stuff. So down here we were doing 4, 9, 10. Okay. And you get 3 to get to this. That'll be 14. And then we're stopping that. I gotta get 2 to get up to here. So 15, 16. 17, and then 20 to do the health leech. It'd be 9% damage leech. Just do that. But what I'm missing out over here. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't have any control over the archer stuff. Rogue granted the ability to double strike with 16. This stuff's kind of cool, though. I don't think I can do this unless he's got something to heal, to regenerate health. It'll just do that. Okay, that's something. Because then I could do these two instead, and get more damage out of them. And get the cool arrows. Instead. Okay, so 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we could put one here to get more health back, but I don't think that's really necessary. So I could go here, because I'm not doing mages anyway. Put 15% more damage. Okay. All right. Well, I think that answers what we're going to do with skills. So let's go back to our loot filter. And come back in here and start picking what we want. Just to filter out. Do I really do spell damage, though, is the question? Like, is any of this considered... I guess, okay, that's considered spell damage. These guys aren't, but that's minion damage anyway. This is considered spell damage. And this would be considered spell damage. Okay, so physical spell damage. I think that's fine. Okay. So spell damage will scale me, and physical will scale me. Melee physical will not scale me, because I'm not doing any melee. It's all spell physical. But then minion would be melee, throwing, and bow. Melee ideally, because this guy is going to be melee. And area. Physical area. Yeah, okay. Loot filter. Let's see. Let's go check and let me go have a peek at how our countdown is going. We're at an hour and 8 minutes. Let's see. Refresh. Another 18 minutes until SpaceX starts their official live stream. So 50 minutes before the launch. What are they saying on here? They're still trying. Nothing's canceled it yet. Okay. Let's see. All right, so here. I kind of don't want any two-hand. So, okay. How did I already know what I wanted here? Wand or staff? Guess it depends on the attributes I can get. So let's see. What affixes can you get on spell damage? Let's just... we can tweak it as we go. I feel like wand... I think I was using a wand anyway, was I not? Yeah, so wand and catalyst is what I felt like the best would be over staff. But I guess staff could potentially combine these two and be fine. So, okay. Well, I thought staff did more melee damage, which is meh. Alright, so... Anyway, damage types. I don't really care about elemental. That's fire, lightning, and necrotic. Is elemental considered... Is poison considered elemental? That is a question I don't know. Element... L? No. Poison. Ailment. What damage of time and also reduces poison resistance can be stacked. That's a resistance, but I think elemental is just fire, lightning, and cold, not poison or necrotic. Let's Google it. I don't want to ignore elemental if it's actually useful, but I don't think it is. Damage types. L. answer the question. I just don't think it's considered elemental. I hate when people ask a question, what counts as elemental? And the first word in the answer is yes. That's not a proper response to a question that's not a yes or no question. Element is considered fire, cold, lightning. Would affect all three of those damage types, whereas elemental resist would affect all three of those resistances. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so it's not poison. I didn't think it was. Well, I want to make sure. I don't want to do something totally stupid. Because I go down a road and then I totally don't know, totally jack my build up because of it. So I don't care about elemental. Only care about poison and physical. And minion poison and physical. Okay. I'll do that same thing. Physical and poison. Poison. Okay. Bows. Best in slot. Add weapon types. A wand. Two-handed staff. Howdy, PJ. I don't know if Lottie's still here. She might have fallen asleep. Last message I saw was a while ago about how much a guy charged her for doing something on her car. I'll clarify that. On her car. I don't even... She might have passed out. I've been talking a lot to myself, so he probably passed out. That would be my guess. Oh, that's not offhand. I don't want offhand on this. Okay. You know, she got a guy to do some stuff in Minecraft for her that you wouldn't do. Paid him. She's not paying you enough, clearly. Yeah, no, bank holidays are supposed to be holidays, right? But they always turn into get more done days. So Hopefully you get a break soonish. No, I don't even need this rule because I don't want melee weapons. Can I just turn it off? Yes, I can. Nice. I don't want bows either. Okay, so let me just look at... critical strike damage, increased that stuff. Spell damage. Do I care about the staff? I don't know that I do. We'll keep it there for now. Alrighty. Enjoy working. I'll be here. We'll be watching the Starship launch hopefully in another hour-ish. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh, weather's more favorable now. It went from 45 to 55% favorable. 7 minutes till they go live. Let's see how far we can get in that time. And catalyst. Okay. Don't need to touch anything there. Select classes. Then re-roll at Weaver Forge. Huh? Select classes. And then re-roll at Weaver's Forge. Huh. That's a new thing, I think. Oh, it is. I remember reading about it, but I don't remember how it works, so. Let's just stick with Acolyte. Oh, it's then re-roll to what you want. Okay, I get it. I get it. Add class-specific idle affixes. Okay, so then under Acolyte, I feel like those are kind of silly. I'm not transforming. Reduced health cost. Maybe that one. Maybe those. Damage over time. Bleed on physical spell hit. Yep. Physical spell crit. Poison chance. That one. That one. Yeah. That's more disease, though, isn't it? Isn't that a damage type? Hang on, I'll look that up in a second. I think that's a disease, not a poison. Okay, so there's 16 there. I don't think... Hang on. So... Nope, not that one. This guy. I think plague is necrotic, not poison. Let me get rid of those. Versus, what was the one? There's another one. Plague. Okay, so 14. Okay, so these are just going to be turn on ones I need, uncheck unwanted classes. I have to kind of, as I get leveled up, I'll do more of these. Add a fixture. Only use if you want something specific. Choose the item type. Item type. We'll go with these for now. This is all just weapons, right? Oh, that could be armor, I guess. Keep some of the weapons out of there. Check weapon off, hand types and damage and classes. Show tier 6. Okay. We're not quite to this stuff yet, so we will show all exalt, show all uniques, and then this is going to filter it down more. So by 70, we'll want to come in here and play with this. Okay, so we've got a filter that could work now. I need to use the restroom really quick. And then the SpaceX stream is probably about to start, so we will flip over to that for a bit as well. Let's see, how can I do that? It might just have to be a screen capture on the other one. So let me use the restroom real quick and we'll figure it out. Be right back. All right, so let's see here. Have they started? Refresh. They have. Holy crap, loud Batman. All right. I'm going to get... Where am I going here? I'm clicking on this button. And then this. And we're going to put it on that. Okay. Now. So we want this. Window capture. This. I apologize in advance. This might be allowed. Oh no, you can't hear it yet. Never mind. Now you can see it.
On Sunday, we stood down then to troubleshoot an issue with some of our ground systems, had a leaky hose. We replaced that, got to our attempt yesterday, lost our battle with the weather gods and some anvil clouds in the area, but we're hoping the third time is the charm.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure.
Yeah, so at the moment, we are actively loading propellant onto the vehicles. Our engineers are on console, monitoring the vehicle, all of the systems as we count down to liftoff. Prop load is underway. We are looking better on the weather this time, good on the range, and we are targeting the very beginning of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Our objectives for today, really with the ship, are going to look very similar to the last couple of launches, looking to deploy those Starlink simulator satellites, fly a whole bunch of experiments during Starship's re-entry, testing the limits of its heat shield and its flaps. Ultimately, we want to see ship do controlled descent, soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. That's really what we're looking for today. Regardless of the outcome, though, goal is always to collect as much data as possible. That gets us one step closer to a fully operational Starship.
That's right, and either way, flight tests guarantee the maximum level of excitement, and Starship will allow us to fly the heaviest payloads ever flown and ultimately fly humans further into space than ever before, even all the way to Mars, as we always talk about. Our progress here at SpaceX is measured by getting closer to establishing a self-sustaining civilization on Mars, and these are the flights that are forging that path.
That's right. Now, a whole bunch has happened to get us to this 10th flight test. We're not going to go all the way back to the beginning, but we're going to start with Starship's 9th flight test, which lifted off in May. That one did end with what we call a rapid unscheduled disassembly, or a RUD, on both the ship and booster. Let's take a quick trip back.
So Flight 9 marked the first reflight of a super heavy booster. We saw successful hot staging and the first ever deterministic flip, which gives us extra performance. The reused booster was flown at a much higher angle of attack to push the envelope on capabilities. This did end up causing some internal structural failure, eventually leading to a rapid unscheduled disassembly at landing burn.
Ship, though, continued its ascent. While it was going, though, we saw pressure dropping in the main fuel tank, rising in the nose cone. In this view, you can see pop, the fuel diffuser inside the pressurization system. We had a hole develop. The ship still managed to complete its ascent burn, got to its planned velocity, got to second stage engine cutoff.
Hi, Alf.
Really huge.
You watching the launch with your dad?
After that, though, we did run into some issues with attitude control, which eventually led us to skipping the payload deploy and Raptor relight demos. Starship eventually re-entered the atmosphere in an off-nominal attitude, and communication was unfortunately lost approximately 46 minutes into the flight test during entry, but not before we got one heck of a light show.
That's right. Looking forward to another one today. The booster rud, we went back and looked at it. That was caused we had a much higher than predicted forces on the booster structure, really honing in on that internal fuel transfer tube inside. That was all due to that angle of attack experiment we were running for today's flight, and any of the remaining ones on this version of the booster. We're just lowering the angle of attack of the booster as it comes in, relaxes those forces, minimizes the likelihood that we see that kind of structural failure.
Yeah, and then over on the ship side, we
better
redesigned the part of the fuel pressurization system that failed on Flight 9. We put it through a more rigorous test campaign and subjected it to flight-like stresses. And eventually, we were able to actually run it for more than 10 times the expected service life with no damage, which was super exciting.
Yeah.
Our goal is always, of course, to make it through all of the objectives we set.
Your breath stinks,
but any
boy.
result that teaches us more about Starship performing in the real-world environment helps us to make those targeted iterations and improve quickly.
Yeah.
That's kind of been the secret to our success. That's how we developed Falcon 1, our first rocket. That's how we developed Falcon 9, which we've already flown more than 100 times just this year. A little insane. And 500 flights overall.
Yeah, super exciting for Falcon 9. And again, we're trying to follow their lead and launch, learn, and repeat.
Yeah. So we finished Flight 9. We were getting ready for Flight 10. And if you followed along, we originally had a different ship number 36, that was slated to fly on Flight 10. But that experienced a pretty major anomaly during its static fire test out at our Massey's test site. We were actually in its second static fire, a 6 engine. We were loading cryogenic propellant on board. We saw a sudden energetic event, complete loss of Starship, damage to the stand, and some of the immediate area surrounding it.
The most likely root cause that we were able to identify was undetectable or under-screen damage to a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, or COPV, in Starship's payload base section. To address this probable cause, we are operating the COPVs on Starship at a lower pressure and also implemented additional proofs and inspection methods.
Meanwhile, though, got to maintain our launch schedule, got to keep testing, so we pivoted to actually using the launch pad, the same one we're stacked on right now, to do ship static fire tests, something we had never done before. A retrofit was the fastest path to get back to flying. The team was able to engineer, implement a solution. We used a ship transport ring, sawed some stuff off, welded some stuff on. We're able to mount the ship, load propellant using what we usually use for the booster, and then do 2 different static fires on that orbital launch mount, doing that in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it was really an incredible turnaround to see. And the static fires did give us the data we
Just
needed
anything
to
you want me to
launch,
explain, please
and
ask.
are a prime example of our engineer and
I'm just
technician
gonna play
teams
and
working
watch
together
as we
to
get
build
closer to
creative
launch.
solutions to keep us charging forward to bring Starship online.
And even while we did all of that, we're still in the process of rebuilding that Massey's test site where we want to continue testing our ships in the future, and we're getting it ready for that next generation of Starship version 3.
Yeah, very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the rocket on the pad currently. Starship is the first orbital launch vehicle engineered to be fully reusable. It's built for frequent flights and a significant amount of payload.
It is the largest rocket ever made, ever flown, largest flying object in human history. It's going to be the vehicle that enables our foundational mission to eventually bring humans to Mars. I recently, just yesterday, got a chance to do a deep dive into kind of everything to picture Starship. Had some special guests, Elon Musk and Bill Riley. Let's take a look. We're about to launch the largest flying object ever made, but this isn't on the radar.
I didn't care for much of this interview. It was
so we want to kind of take a beat, pull back, do a little bit of Starship
Lip.
101. What's it called? I've got some special guests crashing the webcast today. Joining me now in Star Factory, Elon Musk.
What's the thing when people just
Bill Riley, our VP of
talk
Starship
up something
Engineering.
and not
Thanks
much
for being here, guys.
meat to
we
it?
got a rocket about to get off the pad, but
Just
you
kind
know,
of.
let's start people off like high level. Like, why are we here?
Elon
What the hell
just
are we doing
annoys
here?
me when he talks.
Well, I don't know
And he
about
goes off
everybody,
into
but I'm
weird
here
tangents.
to try to build into the future that I imagined and dreamed of as a child, where starships with people are out among the stars exploring the
He
universe.
just annoys me when he talks.
Yeah,
But,
so
hey,
the
he's
why, it's always
started the
important to
company,
explain the why of things.
he's doing cool
and
stuff.
The why of Starship is that we want to be a multi-planet species to extend consciousness
Disparage
beyond
the
Earth.
company because they're
I
doing
think
a lot of cool
for
stuff.
2 main reasons. One is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life as we know it in consciousness, which if we are a multi-planet species and ultimately a multi-stellar species out there among the stars, the
Very
probability of survival is much, much longer.
bloody sounding build.
That's kind
Lots
of
of goo noises.
defensive aspect or
Where's
life
that guy
insurance
going?
for life
Weird.
collectively. But then there also need to be things that are inspiring and exciting and that give you reason to live. Life cannot just be about solving one tragic problem after another. There must be also reasons to get up in the morning and be excited about the future. And a future where we are a spacefaring civilization is infinitely more exciting than one where we are not.
And we're doing it all pretty unique location. I mean, the pad's behind us. We got rocket on the tower. We got another tower.
This
right
guy
there
really
sitting
wants to go
inside
kill
Star
this stuff.
Factory. And I mean, it wasn't like this
I don't
for
know why.
very long. This is all pretty brand new.
Yeah, I think we moved Starship here in about the early part of 2019, so we've been coming that entire
Where's this guy
time
going?
and seeing the site evolve from
Is
a
he
double
done?
wide trailer and a tent where we built Starhopper to the first suborbital test flights, and now we have behind us 2 towers for the first time as we build towards the first operational flight from the second tower at
The
the end
2
of this
towers
year.
of
And
Lord of
this
the Rings.
beautiful
Yeah.
building, 1 million square feet, where we're able to work towards a production line of Starships.
Yeah, the SpaceX team has done an incredible job of building out really the most advanced rocket manufacturing facility that has ever existed. This is far beyond any rocket fabrication facility that has ever been built. This is essentially alien level technology, and it was all built here.
It's a
basically
bit
down by the
excessive to
Rio
say
Grande
alien
River
level.
and close to the beach.
It's
an
new
incredibly
technology, but I
remote
wouldn't go
location,
alien
and this
level.
used to be a sandbar. I
Bit,
think we're about
bit excessive to
3
talk
feet
yourself
or
up that
about a
hard.
meter above sea level. So
Impressive. Not gonna deny that, but it ain't alien level.
it really was nothing. If you see the time lapse from sandbar to two launch towers and a gigantic rocket factory with high bays, and we're going to be building something called the Gigabay, which is like one of the largest enclosed volumes on Earth. So it's sort of
okay,
like
bud.
a
Put your
gigantic
head back
ball
down.
cube.
You're
That we're going to be
fine.
building here for
You're fine, boy. Hi.
for
You just
building
gonna
and
put your
storing
face
these
in my face?
gigantic
All right.
rockets. It's really spectacular, and anyone can come and visit. So, because we're on a public highway, and we're literally by a public beach, you can actually come
Been
and see
there,
rocket
saw the booster on the stand.
quite close up. I mean, you can drive past it, and you can also
Picture's gonna do this thing justice
and
for how
anyone
big
can
it
do
is.
from anywhere in the world. You can come and visit and check it out. So I think it's pretty cool that it's
Just not right now.
Just not right now.
Just not right now.
Obviously not when we're launching because there's some safety issues, but the rockets often just
Yeah,
sitting on the
Elon,
pad
you took
without
that
any
joke
propellant in it, and then
horribly.
you can just come here and visit. It's very
He
easy.
doesn't
It's a
get
really special
jokes
place.
well.
Yesterday, the ship went down the road behind us, and I saw families outside going for their, on Sunday, going for their Sunday stroll, and they were greeted by Starship going down. And I think that from the very beginning, the thing about Starship, different than Falcon and other rockets that I'm aware of, is we designed it to be mass-produced and mass-produced at scale. And it's not about building one Starship and getting to orbit once. It's about doing it in a sustained and rapid way.
Yeah, we're aiming for ultimately thousands of ships to be built per year, which is what's needed in order
All right,
to
now I forgot what we're gonna do here.
construct
We were
a
gonna
city on
do-
Mars that is self-sustaining. And the major fork in the road of destiny will be when
Down to
the
here,
Mars city
right?
is capable of surviving, even if
Do
the resupply ships
these.
from Earth stop coming for any
5,
reason.
6.
And that reason could be something cataclysmic, or it could be that that civilization simply subsided. There's always this debate throughout history of will
7,
civilization end with
8,
a bang or a whimper. But either
9,
way,
10, 11, 12, 13.
if the critical thing is to get to the point where Mars is self-sustaining and can survive
14,
even if the
15,
resupply ships stop coming for
16.
any reason, which means that you need to build an entire base of industry on Mars in order for Mars to survive. For example, it's not simply
17,
enough to
18,
build a
19,
chip
20. I think that's what we're going to do.
like a computer chip factory, but you need the ability
attack
to
speed
build
on them
computer
right
chip
now.
factories. So
Or just straight up
this
extra
is
damage
going to really
and
take
health.
a lot of tonnage. I mean, my guess is at least 1 million tons to the surface of Mars, and
Let's get down here and get some
maybe it takes
extra
less than that,
skellies out.
it's going to be a lot. But this is a very exciting future. It's one which will ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life and consciousness, and it's the critical stepping stone to get from this solar system to other star systems, and perhaps go out there and explore, and perhaps we'll encounter alien civilizations that maybe they're alive now, or maybe they enjoyed a period of prosperity for millions of years, but also died out millions of years ago. So it's humbling to think of the age of the universe, according to the standard model of physics, being approximately 13.8 billion years
do
old.
me any good.
So an incremental million years would be 3 digits
kind
past
of a
decimal
ball
point.
sack thing.
And if you look at, say, our civilization and measure our civilization
Necrotic
by
spell damage.
the first evidence of writing, which is about 5,500 years ago, civilization as measured from the first
damage.
writing is
So
only
here's Scepter.
1
So
millionth
Scepter is
of
about
Earth's existence.
melee damage. I'm not doing melee damage, so I definitely don't want
Flash in the pan
Scepters.
so far.
Well, we're getting
Staff
some cool
is also
shots
melee
rocketing on the
damage,
pad right now.
and I'm not doing melee
we tell
damage.
people, like, come down,
So
see
I
it. It's hard to
only
get,
want
like, a sense of
wands.
scale
You
of just how
got it.
massive
All
this
right, that
thing
answers
is.
that question.
And
Just had
we
to
were
see
able
him to remember what I
catch
wanted.
somebody working on it a little while ago. And, like, part of the
Hello,
reason
Miles? Oh,
you said
he's
we're sending millions of tons, that's kind of why this
When
thing
I
is
think
so
in this
massive
image,
as it
Dan, you
is.
can actually see the person working at the bottom of the ship, and as we zoom out, you see the full ship, that sort of two-tone silver and black, and then the booster below it, right? And it really sets the scale, which doesn't come across,
Just
I think, other than
wands.
in person. And when I do tours, I like to say Starship is real, Starship is big, and Starship is really big. And I think you can see there, and with the factory shots you saw earlier, again, we've got Flight 10 on the pad, but we got many more behind it.
Yeah, so I posted a video yesterday of just a brief scan of part of the Starship factory, and you can get a sense of the scale of the factory. Yeah, I guess we could talk a bit about why Starship is the way it is. Like, for example, why is half of the ship black and half of it is silver colored? And that's because the bottom half of the ship, the bottom as seen from orbital entry, has a heat shield on it. So the black there is the heat shield, and then the core structure of the rocket is a special alloy of stainless steel, and that's where you see the sort of shiny silver parts are stainless steel.
It's okay,
The reason
though.
for steel over aluminum is that the heat of atmospheric entry and the heat of the rocket engines is enough to easily melt aluminum, but steel is much more resilient against both ascent heating, but especially the re-entry heating. And you
So
don't
why
have to
did I
paint
pick
it,
up that? Is it
which
just
is
because it's got some...
actually very difficult.
Can't
to
break anything
paint
down
a
right now, so
large
it's kind of
object that is
pointless,
going through
but
cryogenic
okay.
cycles and have the paint
At
stay
least we're
on.
picking
It's
up a
quite
ton
challenging.
less than we were, so that's good.
And so we've talked about it. It's massive. It obviously takes a whole lot of energy to make that thing move. And that's where Raptor really starts to come in. Most advanced engine on the planet.
Did you know you'll get
Lightsaber.
vaporized if you stand behind it?
That's a lightsaber and a half. You would get vaporized in an instant if you were standing in front of the Raptor. So,
Oh my
you
God.
went to a crisp in
I hope people
less than a second.
didn't need to be told that.
So, yeah. So
You don't want to stand where
in
a
order to
rocket engine's
create,
firing.
a fully
Probably a bad
reusable
idea.
orbital rocket, you have to advance the state of the art in every part of the rocket. That means the engines have to be better than any engine ever. The structure's got to be better than any structure ever. You've got to you've got to have a means of bringing the rocket back to the launch pad. You've got to have a fully reusable orbital heat shield, and that no one has ever made a fully reusable orbital heat shield. The space shuttle, for example, required 9 months of refurbishment between flights. So the space shuttle heat shield would come back essentially partially broken and would require many months of refurbishment in order to fly again. What we're trying to achieve here with Starship is to have a heat shield that can be flown immediately. So the ship, both the ship and the booster, will be caught by the tower arms. And
lots of shards.
the booster will be placed immediately back on the launch stand, and the ship's
You
got to
tacking
orbit
over here, buddy.
Earth at least once, but then could be back potentially in one orbit, but in most cases several orbits. So the ship would come back several hours later, but then be caught by the arms and placed on top of the booster. You could also have multiple ships ready so that a single booster could service 5 or more ships, so that you could be flying the booster in theory, every hour. This is kind of a profoundly fast speed, obviously, for the largest flying object by far ever made. But it's the reason why we catch the tower. We catch the booster with the tower arms, and the ship also will be caught with the tower arms, because that's the fastest way to get the booster and the ship back to flight.
And that's kind of meh. But
if
this one could be useful in the
landing
end.
legs, which we have done before for the ship tests. We actually had landing legs that flipped down, and the
poison chance. We'll do that one. So we're shooting for that
successfully
next.
demonstrated landing with legs. But if you do that, if
And
we were
that
to
will
do
get
that
us
with the booster and the ship, here we'd have to
these
land
unlock.
somewhere else with the legs, then lift the rocket,
20
stow the
points
legs,
in here
transport the
first.
rocket
So
back to the
you get
pad.
15 to get here and 5 into
which
that,
is,
and
very
then
unwieldy when you've got
don't
a
care about
gigantic
that
thing.
one.
Then it would be picked
Don't
up
care
by
about
these
that
tower
one.
arms and placed in the
That could be
launch
good.
mount. That would
I'd have to get
delay
five
the
more points in
reusability
here somehow to
dramatically,
do that.
and would add a lot of mass with the
That
landing
could be
legs.
good.
So that's
A lot of
why
points
we
in here.
catch the rocket with the
But I
tower
don't
arms,
have any
because it's
real
the same
place to
tower
put
arms
them.
that put the rocket in
I'll
the launch mount.
I can get 4
are used to
here,
catch the rocket.
5 here, so that's 9.
And that means that we can put the booster back in the launch mount in less than an hour after liftoff. In fact, the booster is going to come back very
5
fast.
here,
Like,
that's 14.
5 or 6 minutes later, this booster is coming back one way or another, or not coming back.
So 14.
So then you really have
26.
full
That gets
time,
us
which
there.
can be
Okay.
brought down to about 30-40 minutes.
All right, well,
and that
I guess
means
those are
it is
doable
theoretically possible
for
to
just
fly the
straight
booster
damage
again
increase.
in less than an hour.
I think when I think about it, it's the jet drives up to the jetway, the people get off, new people get on, and it leaves. You don't want to land the jet on a different airfield and then tow it over to the jetway. So it's just operationally simpler and faster.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the booster. 3 for 3 on the catch attempts when we bring it back. We've reflown one, so awesome. And then, again, Starship superpowers, the whole thing is reusable. So ship reusability is like what we're working on right now. We've been able to get some really spectacular re-entries on a couple of flights, hoping to get this one for re-entry on the V2 ship. But yeah, that fully reusable heat shield, that thing that has just never been done before, that's one of the things we're really looking for that data on.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of engineering challenges that remain for both the ship
Throwing,
and the booster.
crit, cold, lightning resist.
Maybe the single biggest one is the reusable
That's
orbital
just
heat
meh.
shield. We are confident in making a fully reusable orbital heat shield, but it will require many flights, many iterations to figure out where the weak
wish I
points
had the
are
spell
in the heat
damage
shield,
on that relic.
where we need to change the design, either strengthening the tile or changing the
catalyst.
how big the gap is between
That's
tiles.
lower int, more minion
Changing
damage,
what's underneath the
though.
tile. There's a
More mana.
100 different variables that we could tweak with the ship tiles, the heat shield tiles. But the only way
health
to know
mana
exactly
regen.
what we should be adjusting is to fly
take
repeatedly
that.
and be able to examine the ship
Get something out of
upon
this
landing.
run.
And we have successfully brought the ship back through the atmosphere and achieved a soft landing multiple times. So we know that this is possible, but we have in the process shed many heat shield tiles. So we need to be able to do this without shedding heat shield tiles, and do so repeatedly.
And I think what you're seeing now is the Starship. This is CG of it coming in and landing on the tower, much like the booster, but there's some additional challenges there where we need to make sure we don't scrape the tiles off as we slide along the
We
chopstick
can't
run.
shuck the heat shield.
Don't crush the ship.
Rapid reusability.
If we shuck the tiles, then that's obviously going to fail the reusability test.
So ships can use the tower to land and catch, like the booster here on Earth, where towers are available. And for our initial landings on Mars and other planets, we'll need landing legs that deploy, much like what you're seeing here with Ship 15 when we did our suborbital test, to prove out the precision descent landing which was a successful test. We actually landed two. One was that we were able to actually recover it, and it's you can see it here in the rocket garden if you visit Starbase.
Yeah, so the rocket garden that Bill mentioned, we have actually a whole bunch of boosters and ships, and we'll be adding to them
Can't
over
see
time,
them
so
very
you can
well
see an
anymore, though,
evolution
because you're not
of
allowed to
Starship,
drive back there. It's private
just by
property
driving
now.
down the highway.
Yeah. So
So that's
reusability is
unfortunate.
key. There's some other technologies we're still looking to prove out. Really big one is going to be the on-orbit refilling. Looking to do that next year, and that's really what's going to kind of unlock, Starship going everywhere else, going everywhere beyond Earth, and that's something that's again never been done before, kind of like that reusable orbital heat shield, but it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other secret sauce to Starship, where we're going to be able to send hundreds of tons per ship to Mars.
Yeah, I like to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen. So basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our two-stage rocket look like many multi-stage rocket. And we get all of that performance, and we can take that full cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Yeah, so a crucial technology that we hope to
Wait,
demonstrate
I did that wrong,
next year
didn't I? I was
is this
supposed to
orbital
continue
refilling, much like
moving in
aerial
the
refueling.
direction?
It's essential for being able to send significant payload to Mars. So you essentially send a ship
We just keep
to
going
orbit
this way, if I remember correctly.
with a few hundred tons of payload, sort of a filled payload bay. But once it gets to orbit, the tanks will be mostly empty, and then you send up additional tanker ships to refill the Mars ship's tanks, so that it can thrust from Earth orbit to Mars and have enough propellant left for landing. So this is orbital refilling is also not something that's ever been demonstrated before. So that would be a brand new technology. We obviously have at SpaceX figured out how to dock repeatedly with the space station. So in a lot of ways, this is like docking, and in some ways it's easier in that SpaceX is docking with its own craft, but no one has ever demonstrated propellant transfer in orbit, to the best of our knowledge, and so this would be propellant transfer at a very large scale, and but with full reusability and propellant transfer, those are the key technologies needed for building a city on Mars, and I'm confident that the SpaceX team, which is incredibly talented, will achieve these goals, and we will be landing ships on Mars in the future and building life on Mars, building greenhouses and life on Mars, and ensuring the long-term survival of life as we know it. It's important to note here that obviously, we are effectively stewards of life here on Earth. That the other creatures cannot build spacecraft and get to other planets. So if there were to be a cataclysmic event, like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop Earth and destroy all life, we know this is an undisputed fact. Then if we don't take life to another planet, life will be destroyed. So it's incumbent upon us to ensure that we do bring life to other planets and ensure the long-term survival of life as we know it on planet Earth.
And I mean, aside from that, there's so much that Starship unlocks by being able to do these things. Like, we'll be able to go to Mars, but there are other just transformational things by being able to take that many people, that much stuff to space for that much less than money.
Yeah, I mean, I think understanding our planet better, being able to move people around the planet, make it feel smaller and more accessible. You could go anywhere on the Earth, in less than 40 minutes, basically, in terms of flight time. So I really do see Starship as being this thing that can connect us, just like Starlink connects our information. This can connect us more physically.
Yeah. So there's really
Howdy, Zash.
faster than a rocket, really. An orbital rocket is the fastest
How are
thing
you?
that we know of. That
I put Lyda to sleep already, so is it your turn to get put to sleep?
Like you could go from LA to Sydney
to
less
go
than half an
to
hour.
bed, not
You
to
could go
put
LA
to sleep like
Tokyo
an
in less than half
animal.
an hour. You go from New York to Singapore in half an hour. Everything's probably half an hour, basically. Some things might be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sign me up for that, please. All right, cool.
Across the Atlantic in 10 minutes, no problem.
Please, yes, sign me up.
You're going 25 times the speed of sound, so that's 30 times faster than a commercial aircraft.
And it's a whole hell of a lot better view.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else, guys?
Building
Anything
a
else
Well,
you're
I mean,
really
bench.
excited
we could
about
say
coming
a
out?
lot
In
more.
Minecraft, I'm guessing?
Maybe we should go check in on the rocket
Yeah.
and get
All
on
right,
console.
we're going to go back on console to hopefully the weather supports a launch tonight. And
A little late to be building
yeah,
that
thanks
at
for
your
tuning
house.
in, and
I would
yeah,
think.
thanks for your support.
All right. Obviously, that was really cool. There's
We're
probably
playing
not
a little
anybody
bit of
else cooler on the
stuff.
planet to talk Starship.
Obviously,
still
we're
very ready
waiting
to sign up
for
that point
hopefully a
to travel
Starship
to.
launch. We'll watch that
Also, though,
live together.
It's really hard to
I'll
relay
make it
just
full
how
screen
much
when it gets
power
closer.
is being
About
generated
18 minutes
by these
off,
engines
hopefully.
on this rocket. We try to compare it to something like a little bit closer to home for people. We've used an airplane a lot of times. That's just
Because I'm a
something little more
nerd and I
tangible
like
to
rockets,
folks.
so.
Yeah, if you were to stack Starship up against one of the biggest airplanes out there today, the 747,
Yes, clearly
just
Chunky
one
is to
Raptor
keep out the
engine is
Mongolians.
double the thrust of all 4 airplane engines. Super
Those
crazy
damn
to think
Mongolians
about.
invading the
And the
UK.
Super Heavy on the pad right now, which has 33 Raptor engines, is putting out as much power as about 64 747s.
Yeah, it's, again, just a tremendous amount of power. World's largest flying object. It's crazy. And again, that was really cool to just go through that. I love to geek out as much as everybody else over all the nitty gritty, but always important to remember there's a lot of people that just don't know that all of this is happening. So it's cool to remind them, cool for everybody else out there to help us spread that word. All right. So right now we are 17 minutes, 12 seconds and counting until the 10th Starship flight test. While we do have a moment, though, let's check in over with Tyler Lionquist over in Hawthorne for the latest on Starlink. How's it going, Tyler?
Thanks, Dan and Amanda. I'm Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a
All right, what am I
Starlink
doing?
business
Inventory.
analyst here at SpaceX.
What do we pick
Starlink
up?
is
Anything of
SpaceX's
use?
low Earth orbit, high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity both on Earth and in space. Now, for
Ooh, we get
today's
gloves
mission,
finally.
Starship
Yay.
is outfitted with 4
Immune
Starlink
damage,
terminals,
health.
allowing us to get live views of ship while in
the
orbit
ones that we
and
got
all the way
on.
down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Our Starlink satellites are built in Redmond, Washington, which is also where we monitor the health of the entire constellation. So let's take a quick look for more on Redmond.
What a lot of people might not realize when they think about the scale that we're operating is that actually 2/3 of the operational satellites in orbit are Starlink satellites. And then all of those Starlink satellites came from right here in Redmond.
There you go, Chunky. Here's some nerdy manufacturing circuitry boards for you.
We've currently got a constellation.
They're pretty
of
cool,
over
to be
8,000
fair.
Satellites that are flying around
Lasers
in orbit.
and
So they're working together to fill
whatnot.
out the whole surface of the Earth, make sure everywhere can have service. So we have these laser links that are connected between the satellites, so each satellite can pass data from one to the other. That is what allows us to have these hundreds of gigabit links between satellites, and that's what allows us to connect
Thankfully,
every corner
well,
of the
hopefully,
Earth to
once
high-quality,
Starship
high-speed,
actually
low-latency
can
internet.
deploy things into orbit, they'll put less satellites that are just more powerful because they can
When you think about that
bigger
Starlink that you
one-
have at home, the
bigger
technology
ones
that's
to
in
an
there,
extent
and
up
that's in
there
your
and
antenna,
less
is
junk
very
in space.
similar to the antenna that's on the satellite.
I will say Starlink does,
use
and this
vertical
isn't defending
phase-array
Elon. I
antennas,
don't,
which is
I don't
a
like
fancy
Elon
way
as
of
much as the next
describing
person,
an antenna
but
that's made up of many little antennas that work
they
together
do
in order
have
to
some
direct
very
their
cool
energy
technology
to
on
a
these
specific
things
spot on the
to
ground without
make
a
sure they
motor.
don't become junk in space. They have active avoidance built in where they will avoid hitting something else if it's coming toward it, so they don't create more junk in space. And they will, and they are designed to automatically re-enter after a certain period of time as their end of life comes in, rather than just floating around. Like there's a whole bunch of second and third stages of rockets from all around the world just floating all over the place up there, and that's just, there was no plan to get rid of those. So at least they're trying
If you look
to
at the
not
whole
be
world,
true
and you
junk
ask,
in
where
space.
is the satellite industry? It's right here in the USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority of satellites being built are being built right here. Starlink is a truly game-changing technology, and it's all supported by
I
the
haven't
satellite
heard
constellation from
Bad
space
things
here
about
in
Tesla builds, and they're just, I
And
mean,
we're really just
if we're
getting
talking about
started.
their
We're very
auto
beginning of what we
drive
wanna do
stuff,
with
then
Starlink.
yeah, the optical stuff can only do so much. But
Now,
I
as
haven't heard
we
horrible
mentioned
things
earlier in
about
the
Tesla.
show,
Now the
one of today's
Cybertruck is a whole other
objectives
story.
is
That
for
thing
ship to
just looks
deploy
like a
Starlink simulator
freaking
satellites that represent the advanced V3 satellites Starship will be
refrigerator
launching
on
in the
wheels.
future. And as you can see here, once Starship reaches a
I don't like the
nominal
Cybertruck
orbit,
at all.
the payload
That
door will
was
slowly
this is the
begin to
dumbest
open
looking
to
thing.
prepare for deployment. The Starlink satellites will be dispatched relatively quickly, one at a time, like a Pez dispenser, as you can see on your screen. They'll be situated in one
To
long
be fair,
stack,
most
taking up
things
as
are
little
built
space
pretty
as possible,
crappily these
allowing for an
days.
efficient deployment sequence.
I'm
Once
just
a set
trying
of
to go as
Starlinks are
cheap as
deployed,
possible.
the next set advances and deploys until they are all drifting away from Starship to prepare for their on-orbit life. Each Starlink V3 launch on Starship is planned to add 60 terabits per second.
Yeah,
capacity to the
it's just
Starlink
like any
network.
car, though, if you
That's
think
more than
about it.
20
And
times the
again, not to
capacity
defend
added
Tesla,
with
because I don't
every
care about
V2
Tesla
launch
at
on
all.
Falcon 9.
I think
So
they've
we're
kind of
talking
pushed some
about
of
a
the EV
massive
stuff
increase
forward,
in
just
performance
like
all around,
every company
which will
does. But
ultimately enable Starlink to serve
I don't really
as the
care
communications
succeed or fail on
backbone of
them.
missions to the moon
But
and
every
to
car
Mars.
has that, where
So
they've
for now, we're
got
going to turn it back over to the team
some
at
cars that
Starbase.
last really well, and there's some people have really bad experience with them. Like I
Thank
know
you so
numerous
much,
people that
Tyler.
I even work
Okay,
with that
let's
have
turn our
Teslas that
attention to
have
today's flight
had them for
profile,
years and never
which
had a problem.
will feel
But
familiar
you
because
know,
it is. We're looking to get our first
it's
re-entry
all
with this iteration of ship, and we're again intentionally stressing super
what's the
heavy during
word?
its return. The next generation booster is on the horizon,
It's
so
just
the
your
objective
personal
is to
experience
push
with it.
and learn all we can from
Everybody
this
has a
current
different
version.
experience.
All right, let's jump right in. As always, it's going to start with liftoff. Super Heavy ignites
But yeah, I mean,
33 engines, lifting
I
off
look
from
at some of the
Starbase
stuff I
and
get these
ascending.
days just in
It's gonna
general.
power
And
that
this
ascent
is
for
just
about 2.5 minutes
even
until we
looking
get
like
to
game
hot stage
controllers and how
separation.
crappy
Super
they
Heavy
are,
shuts down all
unless
but
you
3
pay
engines,
good money
deeply
to get the
throttles the
right
remaining
type
ones, stage 2 lights
of
hits, and
sticks and
flies
stuff on them.
away.
It's like,
We have
why is
stage
everything got to
separation
be
and
built so
directional
cheap and
It's
crappy?
going to descend. We're going to do some landing burn experiments and then do a splashdown in the Gulf.
Meanwhile, ship continues on with its ascent burn, again reaching a planned suborbital
I just
trajectory.
want this
We'll
to
attempt to
succeed
deploy 8
because
Starlink simulator
it
satellites
truly
and then head
does
back for re-entry,
open up a lot of
where we'll be
opportunities
testing
to go to
multiple
other
experiments,
planets
including
and
missing tiles,
explore. I
metallic
like
tiles,
space
and
exploration.
intentionally
So
loading the vehicle's
whether
flaps.
it's SpaceX
Ship will
doing it
also
or
attempt
Blue
a flip
Origin
maneuver, and
or
if all goes as planned
God
today,
forbid
we'll
Boeing
conclude
gets
the
their
test
act
with a
together and does
saltwater
something
splashdown
right.
in the Indian Ocean. So that's what we
Anybody,
have
I
on
don't
deck
care.
for
Even
Flight
if it's
10,
the
which is
Chinese,
just
they
about
got stuff going
11
up there
minutes,
too.
40
I
seconds
don't
from
trust a
launching.
lot of the stuff
Right,
the
yeah,
Chinese
so
are putting
just
up
a
there
quick
for the
status
reason of space
check-in.
junk.
So as you said, we're
But
about 11.5 minutes away.
somebody explore
We have some
and
good
provide the
news.
information
We got our
and
latest range
knowledge
and weather
to
status,
humanity.
and surprise, everything
I
is
don't care
looking
who
green
does it.
today. So
Thank
This
goodness.
is the closest that
that's the
we've
biggest
gotten so
news that
far
we're
to
looking
something
for.
that
Again, weather
can
is
do
the
it
main
at a
watch
large
item
scale.
for today, but we are green right now. We're not tracking any issues with the vehicle or ground systems, so we are looking pretty good for launch. We did all of
The
our
weather's
normal
actually
pre-flight
go.
checkouts,
Look at that.
with
That
all
was
the
our
different
hold
vehicle
up last
and pad
night.
systems. At this very moment, we're almost done, or we're pretty far into our prop load on ship, and a little bit more to go on the booster.
Yep, looking closely, it looks
Let's
like we're
kinda
near the
tune back over
closeout
as
on
we're only
ship,
about
like
10
Dan
minutes
said,
out.
about 70% of the way through on both
Alt
methane
tab,
and
please.
LOX
Thank you.
on the booster side. We'll continue loading prop for a while. We'll close out at about
Mute the
T minus 30
game.
minutes, 20 second on ship, and then 30 seconds later, we'll finish up loading prop on the booster.
Yeah, so bottom line, little over 10 minutes to go. Range is green, weather is green, vehicles looking healthy. We're looking good to launch right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Can't wait. All right, now let's quickly talk about Mars, since everything we do is part of our foundational mission to get to the red planet.
Yeah,
Each
EV has
Starship
got to
launch
go a
is
lot
learn
further for
more
me
and
to even
more about
consider
what's
getting
needed
it.
to make
My
life
biggest
multiplanetary
complaint about
and to improve
EVs are
ship to the
just
point where it's taking
range.
millions
Like,
of people to
there's
Mars.
got to be
Yeah,
a better
we've shared
way
the
to give you
plan
more
previously in the last
range
couple of months. We're
than.
looking to start sending the very first Starships
This
to
is going to
Mars
minimize for a
next
second.
year.
But hang
These
on, I want
missions,
to
not
see
with
it closer on
people,
my
we're just
personal
looking
screen.
minimally viable landers. So let's just prove that we can get there. And so we're just going to focus on learning as much as possible.
There's got to be a way to make it so
all of those
every
different
300 miles
phases.
you don't have to
You know,
charge the dumb
prop
thing for,
load,
even if it's
prop transfer
15,
on
20 minutes.
orbit,
I don't want to
sending
stop
stuff out to
15,
Mars,
20
doing
minutes
the
to charge
transit,
every
doing the
300
entry,
miles.
and just doing a landing.
I want to fill up my tank
And
and
in our
go.
next window, around 2028 to 2029, we're going to attempt to land the initial infrastructure.
No, I mean, the
and start
manufacturing of
delivering
them
more
is
equipment
not
as well,
carbon friendly
while
at all, for
evaluating
sure.
available resources on the red planet. And we will also have Optimus on board for the
Because
ride,
it's not
who's
really
designed to do
renewable.
the
It's not
initial heavy
like.
lifting.
Oh, looks
And
like
then
we're
the
doing some
electricity you use to
lap
charge it
checkouts real
doesn't
quick
come
on
from
the ship
carbon,
as we are
environmentally
coming
friendly
up
stuff
on
all the time.
9 minutes.
I know there's
Back
like
to Mars,
here,
though,
I can
as those wrap
I can
up
ask my
by about
utility, can
2030,
you
2031, We'll continue to increase
charge
the
me a little
payload per
more
ship,
and
build out more
use more
infrastructure
solar
out there
power on the
Mars's
grid
surface,
for me.
start to mine
I mean, it's
some of
not
those
directly
resources, set
coming
up
to me,
some
but I
propellant
ask that
generation
they
plants,
use more.
build up
And
some
you can
fuel
kind
and
of
some
do some
oxidizers to send
things to use
starships
better
back
energy
from
if you're
Mars.
charging
By
at
the
home.
time
But
we
when
get
you're
all
at
the way to
a charging
2033,
station, you don't know where
we're
that
looking
stuff's
at
coming
double the
from.
amount of payload we're
The
sending
coal
with each
plants
ship
shooting out,
as we get
spewing out
closer and
crap
closer to
into
building a self-sustaining
the
presence
sky
on the
to
red planet.
charge your car.
Yeah, definitely lots of exciting missions ahead of us.
I
and
just
these are going to
don't.
be
I get
crucial
the
to
weight
setting up
thing,
what
but
we'll
I
need
don't
for
get why
humans
there's not
to eventually
solar
inhabit the
panels.
planet. And
If
we
you
won't
want
be doing
to
this alone.
charge an EV,
The Italian
there's
Space
got to be
Agency
solar
and
panels that can
SpaceX
charge an EV
recently
while
signed
you're
a
driving.
first-of-its-kind agreement
That would make
to
it a
carry
little bit
Italian
more
experiments on the
friendly,
first Starship
right?
missions
Manufacturing
to
still
deliver customer
sucks, but at least
payloads
it's
to
a
Mars.
little more
So these
friendly.
payloads will include a plant growth
I don't
experiment,
know.
a weather
The
monitoring
only thing I'd
station,
even
and
consider
also a
these days
radiation
is a
sensor to
hybrid,
gather
just because it is
scientific
better
data
gas
during
mileage,
Starship's
and you don't
approximately
have to sit and
6-month
charge.
interplanetary coast phase from Earth to Mars, and also on the Martian surface.
It's a really exciting mission. Make showing up for work really fun for us. We're going to need to launch a whole lot more, though. So while we're
Oh, I mean,
just
lithium
under 8
mines are
minutes
disgusting.
away
No, I
from
mean,
launch
I've seen them.
today,
Yeah.
let's head back over to Tyler and Hawthorne, talk a little bit about how we're going to be increasing the number of Starship launches going forward.
But
Tyler?
lithium
Thank you,
batteries are
Dan and Amanda.
everywhere. It's hard
So
to get
put
it. It's hard to
plainly,
avoid
in
that. It's not
order to
even an
launch more
EV thing. That's
Starships,
just a
we need to
general
build more
battery
launch
thing.
pads. And that's exactly what we're doing at Space Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
I should
in
put
Florida.
myself in the just chatting,
now, Pad
huh?
37
Because we're
has
not
a
really
storied
playing a
history,
game at the
most
moment.
recently with the Delta IV rocket and for the missions for the U.S. government. And prior to that, the pad supported critical development for the Apollo lunar program in the 1960s. And we are honored to have the opportunity to continue making spaceflight history at Pad 37 with Starship. But first, we need to optimize the pad. So earlier this year, we started dismantling some of the existing infrastructure to prep the site for Starship operations. This will include up to 76 launches a year, with up to 152 landings at that location for Super Heavy and for Starship. And to support this flight rate, we plan on building 2 launch pads. Each will have 1 tower that can support launch and landing, plus deflector systems, launch mounts, and water deluge systems.
Oh, I closed
This
that
will
window.
also
Didn't mean to do
include a
that.
propellant farm that will produce propellant on site and serve both launch pads. So there is a lot of work in progress, but Pad 37
Yeah.
is only one part of our plan for Starship operations in Florida. A few miles away from Pad 37 at Kennedy Space Center, our
There's
380
plenty to
foot tall
be
vertical integration facility called
said
Giga
about
Bay is under construction.
finding
Once
other
complete next year,
sources
Giga
and
Bay will be
places
capable
to
of housing multiple Starships
put our
simultaneously
pollution.
for rapid
Not that
assembly
I want
and
to pollute another
integration.
planet or something,
And
or
meanwhile,
pollute the
at Launch
moon, but
Complex
if you want to
39A,
save
we're
the
building
Earth, you gotta
Starship's infrastructure to support
gotta
up
do
to
something
44
about what we're
launches
doing to it,
and
because
up to
we're just
88
draining
landings
it
a
of
year,
all
independent
resources
of
at the rate we're
operations at
going.
Pad 37. So with 2 launch complexes in Florida, we'll have the ability to fly up to 120 Starships
I
annually,
worry how much
not
longer
including
it,
our
it
flights
doesn't
to
feel it's
Stargate.
sustainable
So,
for
action is
too
well
many more
underway in Florida.
generations.
How's it looking in Texas?
Thanks, Tyler. Things are continuing to look good for launch here in Texas, so getting pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Giga Bay. We're currently laying the foundation for Giga Bay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to be up and running sometime next year. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of Starships on the way, and we're going to need more hands on deck. So come help us build the gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years now. Nowhere
Save
more
a
magical,
tree,
more
burn a book.
inspirational on the planet. If you're a space
Yeah.
nerd, you can come be like Amanda and build these things for real. It's pretty insane. It's super exciting. And yeah, come check us out. All right.
Absolutely. It's surreal to be here for sure.
Well, this
Okay,
thing
so
better
we
work,
are
because
looking like we're about 5 minutes away from launch and heading into terminal count.
they've had.
Range and
It's
weather
an ex- it's-
are continuing to look
To be
good, and
fair,
props
this is a
both continues
development
on both
program. This
stages
is
of
not an
Starship. We'll
operational
close out
rocket.
here in
They are
just 2 minutes or
testing
so.
lots of
Yeah,
things and
we're
stressing
just
lots of
about
things. And if
done,
it does
looks like.
fail,
Let me grab my numbers real quick.
they
We're
will
not
get
tracking
data.
Any issues.
But
we are
the optics of
just
failing
creeping
of
up
a
to
ship
90%
not
full on the
re-entering
locks on
or
the booster,
be
a little
having
over
a controlled
93%
re-entry
on
attempt
ship,
at least
or sorry,
again.
fuel on the
Ugh.
booster, and then ship we're just about to close out, so
gonna
only a
be-
couple of minutes to go there. Once
It's
we're
going to
done,
be
we've
hard
got
to
just shy of
defend the
11 million
development
pounds
like
of
this,
liquid
but
propellant on
they
board
did the
those 2
same thing with
different
Falcon
stages.
9, and
We'll
now
see
it's
a couple
launching like
of
150
final things
times a year
happen. Well, you can't really see it. It's all
and
going to be
landing
happening in our
and
ground
reusing
systems
and
as we'll
everything.
do
So
pushbacks, clear all of the
But it's
propellant
going
out
to
of
be
those
hard to
lines that are
defend if
flowing
this
up through
thing
the
doesn't
tower and into the vehicles.
doesn't do
and
well.
Get ready for launch. We just did our final guidance, navigation, and control system checkouts. Our flight safety system is being armed right now, and we're doing our final wiggle checks shortly with the
It's a
engines,
badass rocket, though. If they
on
can
the
make this
thrust
thing
vector
actually
control tower
work
steering the rocket.
and be reusable,
If we need to hold,
freaking
which we are not
massive.
currently tracking a reason to hold, that would come at T-minus 40 seconds. You saw us do that yesterday. We can hang out there for about 8 minutes or so right now. That's the point. It's built into the countdown. If we need to wait for clouds that just won't go the heck away or any other issues, we can hang out at T-minus 40 for a bit. But at the moment, we're not planning to do that.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, ship will switch over to internal power, and after that, the QD arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back down to liftoff.
That's right. We do have at least one point of no return, though, if the water.
And for the record, they are not catching the booster on this one. It's not planned. It's going to go into the ocean or the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico. America, my ass.
So we can
hover and then fall into it and explode on purpose so that it sinks.
We're not sure if we'd be able to attempt tomorrow because we have fully loaded the vehicle. We have
and the ship is not going to come back for a catch. It's supposed to go over the Indian Ocean and do a soft vertical landing as well over there. But no catch here.
Unplanned wet dress yesterday during our attempt
because they're trying
really
some things on the booster for if there's engine out
on 2 minutes.
Issues and can the other ones take over properly and control. It's like I said, it's a development and test program right now. It's not an operational rocket, so they're still figuring out its limits. And this is the second to last of this version of both of these bits, the booster and the ship. They've got a whole new version they've made improvements on based off of this variant that they're already manufacturing.
We're pretty lucky that we have this ability. Falcon doesn't have that built in, but
I just want to see the ship do something other than roll in space and then burn up uncontrollably. That's all I want to see. I can trust eventually that the booster will do its thing again, but the ship is worrisome.
Right outside Star Factory here.
That's just cool. I mean, you look at that view of the engines, and you're like, well, this is space age stuff. You can't deny how cool some of this stuff is, right? I mean,
crowds gathered here at Starbase.
Super fun to see people getting to watch out on the front lawn.
All these people could probably care
1 minute to go to launch.
Couldn't care less about Elon, and they care about going to space and doing cool things like this.
All right, so again, our hold point comes
that's
up
the
at
viewpoint I want to
T-40,
have. I don't care about that dude.
Any reason to stop
I
there,
want this
so
stuff to happen.
See us go right through that.
Past 40 seconds.
All right.
We're going.
We are through T-minus 40. We are counting down. We're going to let our flight director, Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way. 30 seconds. The 10th
I know. If they give me a chance to go to Mars, I'll go.
T-minus 15.
Come on, you piece of garbage.
9,
do something.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Deluge is going. All 33 lit. It's up.
Vehicle pitching downrange.
Some of the test stuff they were doing with this, like SN-15 they were talking about, they looked like water towers they were shooting up. It was funny. One of the quotes of one on the videos, "Water towers can fly!" I love the mock diamonds in the exhaust. So cool.
Avionics power and telemetry nominal.
Getting good call outs, healthy systems on the booster as it starts to pitch over the Gulf. All right, we're a little over 1 minute into flight, about to pass through max Q.
Vapor cone.
Max Q.
All right, so we are through the period of maximum dynamic pressure, max stress.
You can stare all you want,
vehicle as
Alf.
it
I'm
continues
busy.
to fly.
Our next major event is going to be
I ain't
hot
taking my
staging,
eyes
which
off
is
this, because if
happening
something
in
blows
just
up,
over
I'm not
90
going to miss
seconds
it.
from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of its Raptor engines. The clamps holding the 2 stages together will release, and the Starship second stage ignites its engines. The ship then separates from the Super Heavy booster and heads to space. At the same time, the 3 engines still firing on Super Heavy will
Oh,
flip
we
the
lost an
booster
engine. We're down
around.
to
10 more
32.
engines will ignite for the boost back burn, putting the first stage on the path for splashdown in the Gulf. As we mentioned earlier, the hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn.
That's
So
why
we're
there's
about to shut
33
down
engines,
the
because
first
they
stage
can
and perform
afford
hot
to lose
staging.
some.
So
That
let's
is
just
on
watch and
purpose. That is
listen.
one of the designs of this, is they can afford to lose some. I don't recall this roll being part of it before. Maybe it is. As long as it stops, we're good. Okay. It stopped rolling. It is acting kind of
All right,
funny.
seeing the engine start to throttle down.
Miko.
Okay. Most engine cut off, 3 still going. Then we do a hot stage where ship starts up and separates. Pushes the booster away in a known direction. And then all but the 1 engine that went out on going up is there. And they can
confirm. We've got 6 engines running on ship.
get 9
Booster
fine.
is doing its boost back burn, continuing now towards its splashdown site in the Gulf.
Okay,
Also
now
lit up on ship.
that ship had better make it to Seco, and it had better not be rolling out of control. Because if it is,
You heard them.
then they got some
report ship
fundamental
chamber
problems with
pressure
this version, and
novel, so that
hopefully
chamber pressure, just
V3
that
has
expected
fixed
thrust
them.
level in those Raptor engines on the ship. 3 vacuum
Okay, the booster's
optimized
back down to
level,
3.
all looking good.
And those should shut off in a second. These views are just crazy. Like, why can't every rocket company
Here's a
put
view into
views
the
like this in
business
here?
end from the ship.
Boost back burn shutdown.
All right, so at this point we finished.
I just
our
want to see
boost
re-entry
back
views that are
burn, so that was shut
solid
down.
again.
So that's the first of the 2
It's so
burns
cool
after
seeing the
launch that
plasma
booster's
build up
gonna do
around
today.
it.
So now it's headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relax that angle of attack a little bit, but we are then going to be looking for it to do its engine tests for the landing burn, and those are going to be a little unique this time.
Yeah, typically we start with all 13 inner engines lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3. But one of our test objectives for today is to simulate what an engine out situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead lighting one of the engines from the middle 10 ring.
Yeah, we did see one of those engines in the middle ring shut down
That
during
hot
the
stage
initial
ring
looks like we have hot stage jettison.
is jettisoned from it. That's protecting that booster from the ship's ignition for hot staging.
Yeah, we did see one of those middle engines.
V3, that won't be
so
getting expended anymore. It's just built in as part of the booster. So iterative development. And all that smoke is not smoke. It is
there's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix.
Cooling of the engines, keeping them conditioned.
So we'll see if we light up all 13.
And then it's also doing some maneuvering of the rocket. So far it doesn't look bad.
Very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf, though.
I don't know why the ship is spinning the way it's spinning. That's a little worrisome to me.
Landing burn start should be.
I don't recall it doing that
40
before.
seconds away. That's always rad. We can
So
see
that's
the boost
heat
plume
isn't the
itself in
engines
background
lit
as
on
it was
that.
coming
That's
in.
just freaking re-entry heat on the bottom of that thing because it's going
About
so
20
dang
seconds to
fast
landing burn.
through the atmosphere.
Ship Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
All right, here we go.
Landing
Okay, so I got all but the one that didn't light before. So that's... And then
Slightly
down to the
magical
3
with
that they
those 13.
said. Now will it hover
3, including one of the middle ring.
and shut off and then fall in and explode? That's the plan here. It's hovering.
Down to 2.
2. Now it's off, and now
Nice
it's just going to
little
fall
hover.
into the ocean, into the Gulf, and
Landing burn
explode.
shutdown.
That's the plan.
And into
Come
the
on, big
Gulf,
boom.
Here we come.
And the video's gone, but it went boom.
And the booster has splashed down.
Splashdown's a word for it.
Incredible flight for Booster today.
Oh,
Meanwhile, back in
sorry.
space. About 7 minutes into today's flight, ship continuing its ascent burn. This goes until just about 9 minutes into our flight. That ship
Okay,
engine
stop
cutoff
rolling.
is slated for 8 minutes
Yeah, that
and
was
57
designed.
seconds. We are going to see those 3 RVAC, the Raptor vacuum engines. Those are the bigger circles in that little indicator on the bottom right of your screen. Those will shut down first, and we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit Seco.
Bikini Bottom's gone, yeah. I'm sure Bikini Bottom's fine.
Yeah, these views are looking great. Once again, thanks to Starlink for getting us these views. It's just incredible. And we just heard the sound from Booster.
It's like we just got a late boom from the booster.
Just heard the booster blow up in the Gulf.
Yeah, we have ship engine
I definitely
cutoff coming up here just shortly.
some other
and as we mentioned, today's flight
coverage
test
of
is
this
not
on
an
other
orbital
channels
flight,
where
but
they've got their
rather
own
one that
cameras and they were
demonstrates Starship's
planning on
orbital
pointing
capability.
them to the Gulf to
Terminal guidance.
see the booster splash down in quotes and see what happened.
Entering the
So I'll
final
be curious to see
phase
some
of this
replays
burn.
of that. See how
Under
big
30
that
seconds
boom
to go.
was. I don't like. I think you can see my mouse. No, you can't. I don't think. No.
All right, shut down the vacuum engines.
On that right vacuum engine, there's a little orange on the inner side of it. I don't. It feels like that shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be getting that hot right there.
Ship engine cutoff.
We shut down those.
Well, we got the
three
cutoff, so
successful
that's
ship
a
engine
start.
cutoff.
Now, will this thing not roll out of control is the question. Because we got this far on the last flight,
That's what we want.
and then it just started rolling and rolling and dolphining,
We
and it
heard
just
a call out
it
for
was
nominal
not
orbital
going to laugh.
insertion.
All those little flakes you're seeing are just ice from the side
right, so
doing
ship
things.
is
So
in
it's not actual
space.
stuff falling off.
There we go. We're seeing the flaps starting to move into a stowed
Yeah, this-
position. That's
this
why it looks like
camera-
the camera's moving.
Yeah, this camera is on the
Exciting to
flap
see
that's at the top of the
Starship
ship, and
safely
it's
in
moving,
space,
so it's kind of
and
weird.
Super pumped to see all the team's hard work
Is
in
that?
action
I guess
here
that's
today.
the sun.
And of course, as
It's got to be the sun.
guaranteed,
It's too bright to be
been
the
an
moon.
exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thankfully, our weather was looking good today. Yeah, and booster.
Okay.
We had our soft splashdown in the Gulf.
It's a very
so
strange
ship continues
position
on.
of
Yeah, ship able
the
to complete
ship.
its
It
ascent
feels
burn all the
sideways
way
to
in.
me.
You can see some of the shadows start to creep as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see.
Because eventually it's going to
some
have the heat
daylight
shield
start to go
down.
away.
I mean,
But
they can
ship is in orbit, completed its
rotate the
burn,
thing,
and
but if they're going to do the
that's just the
payload
beginning.
deployment, I would think
Now
it'd
we've
want
got
to be
a
facing
whole
up.
bunch more to go. So we've got some
That's
exciting
strange.
demonstrations
Ship
planned
FPS is
while
safe.
we're on orbit. That right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system.
I'm just
That's that
keeping my
automatic
eye
flight
on
safety
the
system we have on the vehicle.
little
So that is now turned
orientation
off while
thing in the
ship
bottom
starts
right
its
there,
coast
because if
period.
it starts getting
We
wonky and
are
moving a
coming
lot
up.
and
Our next
rotating and weird
milestone
stuff,
is going
that's
to be
when
the
you get
deployment of
concerned.
those Starlink
But
simulators. We've got some payload inside
it
of
feels
Starship
more stable
that
than
we're
it was
hoping to
last time.
deploy into
It's also got to
space
flip
for the
itself
very
around.
first time. That deploy
So
is
it is
supposed to
looks like
start
it
in
is
about
rotating a
15
little
minutes
bit,
and 27 seconds into the flight.
because
So
it does
just
have to
about
put
7 minutes
its
from now. That deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll
butt
go
end
about one satellite a minute.
first, because
So
that's
we'll
what's
be
going to
spread
slow
out
it
over that. It
down
might get a little
as it
dark,
re-enters.
but
Well,
we've got
no,
a
isn't it
couple of
was
views
butt
that we
end
can show
first?
you to see
No,
that deploy in action.
I don't know.
After
I'd have
that,
to look at
we're
a
also
trajectory
looking
of
to
this thing
do
again.
a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before. This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are in a suborbital trajectory, but this is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do a deorbit burn. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the flight,
So
about
much
37
ice falling
minutes or
off
so
that
into
thing.
the flight. And then we get into reentry. We're looking to get that light show and, more importantly, get that really critical data about the ship's heat
All
shield.
of this
Yeah,
stuff coming
exactly. In
out
about
is
2
it
plus
uses
45
ullage
minutes, we'll
gas,
be heading for reentry.
the extra
Again,
pressure in the
running those
tanks that it
experiments with the
doesn't need
tiles. We're going to be doing
to help
missing
do
tiles,
some
metallic
orientation
tiles,
of the
and also
rocket.
intentionally
So
loading those vehicles
it
flat.
did this when it was fine
Hopefully we'll
before.
also
It's
see
just,
a splash
it's
down
very
in the
weird,
Indian
because when you
Ocean
get up
today.
into the
Yeah,
space,
we were able
there's
to
nothing
get to a reentry
keeping, like,
last
if you have
time,
a
but we
stream
didn't
of
have full
liquid or
attitude
gas coming out,
control,
there's nothing
so
keeping it in that
we weren't able
little
to go in, heat
little
shield
line
first
that
the
you
way
squirted
we were
out,
designed to.
and it's actually just
So we ended up
spreading out
losing
almost
contact with the
immediately
ship before we could make it
360
all the way
degrees out
through.
into a puff of
So you still get
gas.
data, but
So
you're not
it
really
looks
getting
like
the
it's a
data
lot
that
more
we
than what's
want
really coming
to
out.
make sure we're kind of stress testing the vehicle. As Amanda just said, we removed a bunch of
But they are
time
definitely changing
to
the
do this
orientation of the
in
ship.
some intentionally scary
So
places on the vehicle, because
it's
we're really
not,
looking,
doesn't look
are there
uncontrolled
spots that
though.
we're vulnerable to this before we ever start moving towards, putting ship into a full orbital mission to then do reentries a little bit later on. So really, really critical to get that data. Really looking forward to a controlled reentry.
Yeah, for sure. As
Already
we always
knowing
say, our
that
main
something was
payload
off.
is
So
data.
the
Sorry.
fact
But
that we
here
are
we also
still
have some actual
positive
payload on
is
board,
prob-
and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes. These are dummy satellites that are about the same size as our V3 Starlinks. We have 8 in the Starship PEZ dispenser and expect to deploy.
And it
at a
literally
rate
is a
of about
PEZ
1 per
dispenser.
minute,
It's
as Dan
funny.
mentioned earlier.
It's literally this door,
Starlink is
this
critical
long,
in all
thin
of our
door that's
flights
going to
on
open up,
Starship
and
to
it's going to
get our
shoot them
main
out like
payload
PEZs.
data, as we always say. And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them there. They kind of look just big steel plates, essentially. They're roughly the same size as those V3 satellites. When we do get that view inside of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a PEZ dispenser. Yeah, here's a look inside. So those right down there in the center, they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side. And then the payload door is just to their right.
Those big,
And so we'll
long
look to see
black
that
tubes on
open,
the left
and then those
there.
satellites start to
Those are
go.
the
We vent
COPVs.
the
That's
nose
one
cone,
of
so we
those
essentially bring
was
it down to vacuum
supposedly, is
before
what
we
they
open
say,
the door. That
damaged
was
when
one
they
of
were
the things
testing
we
the
ran
ship on
into
their
on the
test
last
stand
flight,
a couple months
when we
ago.
had that fuel
And it
diffuser
blew out
fail,
the side of the
pressure in
ship,
nose
and then the
cone
whole thing just
became basically too high
exploded.
for the actuator of the
Because
door
it had
to
fuel in
open.
it.
So that's why we weren't able to get the door
But
open
those
that
are
time.
very high
We have not
pressure
seen anything
tanks
like that on
for
this flight. Everything's
usually
looking good with our fuel
nitrogen
tank and our fuel press system.
that they use
So we
for
are hopefully just
pressing.
a couple of minutes
This
away
is some
from seeing that payload door
weird
open,
gas in here.
getting
That's
to our first ever
concerning.
payload. It's not the first payload we've ever carried.
I don't know what that is.
But it's the
Maybe
first
it's
one we're gonna
okay,
try
but it
and
feels
shoot
weird.
off into space.
Feels like there's still a leak somewhere.
All right, so
Or there was a
I
lot of
think
dust,
we're supposed
and
to
it's just
open the
dust
payload
moving, but
door
that
in
looks like
just
some
about
gas
a
of
minute
sorts.
and change, and you're seeing a little bit of residual gas. And we opened the
Oh,
door
he's
once.
talking about
I
it.
want to say it was back on flight 3. when we were able to make it up into space. And you'll kind of see a lot of that gas rushing out into the vacuum of space. It's the residual that's left over after we've already vented it down. So kind of a cool light show.
Okay, well, maybe that's expected.
To deploy those payloads out.
Add some extra commentary from another stream in here and see if they're what they're saying.
That was pretty epic. Adrian, let's toss it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crazy thing is, the most exciting
as
thing
we mentioned,
that
so we have crossed over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside will get pretty dark, but we'll see what we can see. We do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean.
Why do some of these lights look like they're incandescent lights? They got to all be LEDs, but just the color of them looks like incandescent lights.
Should be seeing that payload bay door opening shortly in preparation for the deploy demonstration coming up.
Open the pod
18
bay
minutes and
doors,
27 seconds.
Open the pod bay door. Oh, the gas just rushed out on the other stream. There it goes. They've opened it. It opened. It actually at least cracked open. Did it fully open? I don't know. Do they have a camera on the other side so we can see the door, please? Because it's all the way down at the bottom there. We can't... Oh, you can see it opening. It's on the right side there. It is on the right side. It's opening. Holy crap.
So we are.
That's the first time it's actually opened on this ship. They figured out how to do it. Now, will the Pez dispenser work? The door is open. Come on, shoot them out. Shoot them out.
All right, so the payload door is open. We should see the first satellites start to deploy at about T plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So
18:27, okay.
Seconds. So one step closer. Hal listened this time. He cooperated. He opened the payload door for us. There's a view kind of behind the Pez. You're looking out.
Everybody else at SpaceX, like Dan and these guys, I love how much fun they have with this stuff because it's fun stuff. Come on. Camera didn't want to work.
Ship has transitioned to payload deploy.
Is it going to work? Nothing's moving. Anything? Batman? There's probably a short circuit or something. They've never been able to test this, so it's not surprising that it's not working. just chuck them out there. Oh, something moved. Oh, it moves in it? It's moving it? What? Please have a view on the outside of this coming out. Please have a view. Shove it out. That thing is stuck in the door. We're screwed.
Pew pew. Been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
There goes another one.
That almost hit the door. They're going to have to work on that a little bit, but hey, it went out. Oh my.
As you can hear the energy in both Hawthorne and
all right, guys. How do we make it not hit the door?
To deploy some of those simulated satellites.
At least they're finally testing it. I mean, we've been waiting so long for them to do anything of use.
Every minute or so, and this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites, and these are just...
You can't have the satellites hitting the side of the ship going out, though.
To Starlink's capability. Each one of them has it's 60 terabits per second of capacity that's going to get added to the network per launch. That's 20 times more than what we're adding. With
and these are dummy Starlinks too, so they're
today,
the real ones probably will have a little bit more
increase in capability. There goes another one.
Way of controlling their exit. Well, and the first one that goes out seems like it goes out fine. It seems like the second one, because they're stacked side by side. Yeah, this is nothing.
Right, so
these are truly dummy. I think this is literally just like steel that's manufactured in a way to look like a Starlink, weight-wise. Because look, this just looks like pallets almost. But the first one goes out okay. It's that second one, that one there, that goes out and hits. It shouldn't be going out at that angle, I don't think. So they'll figure it out. I mean, they can build a rocket. They can build a dispenser. They'll figure it out. I'm just glad we're in orbit and we're doing something more than spinning out of control. Because there's a chance we can see a cool re-entry.
All right, so we're about halfway through. When we actually start launching the V3 Starlinks on Starship, we're going to be flying about 60 each time, so it'll be about an hour to get through a full stack. But again, it's just going to be a massive increase in the amount of bandwidth. It's going to enable, gigabit upload download for people with Starlink, anywhere on the planet, and for us.
I'm sure the engineers are looking at this going, okay, that first one works. We're doing something wrong with that second one that's making it spin. We got to fix that. What do we do? And they'll like the next flight, they will have it fixed.
Yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle.
The rapid iteration is crazy.
Yeah, views brought to you by Starlink of us deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlinks. How deep does it go? All right, another one firing out.
Yeah, it's just like it goes off and it puts a little bit of torque on it and spins. Somebody made a suggestion earlier today that said if they wanted, the chances of them actually having a Starship that's going to make it to Mars and be successful is very slim for this current Mars transfer window that ends next year. But what they should do is just yeet one out there and put a Cybertruck in there and just rid the world of one less Cybertruck. I mean, he already yeeted his one of his model whatevers, one of his own Teslas out there, whatever the convertible is. I don't know the models. I know Model S is something, but I don't know anything. A Model Y, but I have no clue about details.
All right, looks like we've got one left.
Almost there.
It's very shaky. This is most definitely a proof of concept dispenser.
Deployed, one more to go, and then we will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation. Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up entirely.
Well, that makes sense rather oriented the way they are because they don't want to force them higher. They want them to come back, so they want to keep them. Because you can kind of see the ship is starting to rotate to be more heat shield down than it was initially. So that was on purpose.
Loving the energy from Starbase and Hawthorne.
There.
Okay, so that goes back down. Now, will the door close? It's not the end of the world if it
Successfully
doesn't.
deployed all
It's
those-
just going
all
to create
those
some
stimulated
drag.
Really, really cool to see.
Because that's not the
them
side that has the
all
heat
out
shield,
there.
so it's not the end of the world.
Again,
But it would not be
people that have
great
followed
either.
know Starlink's really critical for the Starship program, in addition to
Hi, Alf.
getting all those views back from the cameras on Starship, which this is an external view. As I said, it's dark outside right now. The lights are off, so it's going to be hard to make stuff out. But in a little while, the sun's going to start coming up as we get to re-entry, which is going to be really critical. We use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it on the cameras that we use to bring you views of these launches, and also hopefully of the re-entry and splashdown. We'll see what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. With Starship, we actually get a pretty insane, if you're in the space industry, you know bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high-definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including re-entry. So it's not just giving us views of re-entry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people all around the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets, with over 6 million active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard kit.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really excited today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight one of those Raptor engines at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight,
10 more
followed by
minutes to
atmospheric
relight.
entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown. So we're going to go on a quick break, take a quick coast, sit back, enjoy the views. A little bit dark now, but they'll get better soon. A couple of space jams. We'll be back in just a few minutes for that Raptor relight and then re-entry. See you soon.
The door closed? Looks like the door's actually closed. Wow. They're able to close the door. Good. If this other stream does, let me pull up a third stream. If they do any replays, I'll pull that over and we'll look at replays of the... I want to see the booster hitting the Gulf and what it looked like, because that'll be...
When you've got smoke for...
I hate YouTube ads. They can suck me. But yeah, if they show any replays, I'll pull them over. Because I think this is a multi-tab window, right? Do this. You can see that I have this other tab open, right? Come on, stream update. It's black right now, but yeah, okay, cool. So I can pull these other ones over to this window when the time comes. I hate that I have to watch this on X, but it's the only place they live stream, the SpaceX live streams. Because Elon is weird guy. Man, I wish it was anybody else running this company. Well, not anybody. There's some exceptions to that, but somebody other than him. Yep, door is closed. So, cool. They fixed that problem the first time. Really, what? Anybody else running this company? You don't you disagree with me? Oh, Elon is strange. Yeah, I mean that's the understatement of the year. I'm trying not to get too controversial. At least the money from Starlink, it's no longer out of his pocket that is running this company now. It's actually a profitable company because of Starlink. So it's a little bit better that it's crowdfunded now. It's no longer Musk funded. Only a sandwich short of a picnic? I mean, I think that's an understatement too. I think he's pretty much a picnic short of a picnic. And not defending, he does have some, not mental. I mean, he has mental issues, but for other reasons. But he's, what is it? It's not Asperger's. He's got something that causes him to talk the way he talks. But that's no excuse for the way his brain thinks. So he's even weirder. Sounds weirder because of that issue, that thing that he has. But yeah. Come on, other guys, show some replays of the booster hitting the Gulf. Maybe a little bit of light back. Space is dark. Alright, Alf, I will go get you your green. Let me get him his greenie while we're staring at darkness. And he stops complaining at me. is approaching Raptor relight time. What do you say? Oh. I think that was just gas. I don't think that was the relight. That was very fast if that was the relight. Should be a bright orange color. That might be its engine chill happening and interacting with the
All right, welcome back, everybody.
light.
If you're just joining us, Starship just successfully deployed its first ever payload. We got 8 of those Starlink simulators out, and now we are expecting the relight of a single Raptor engine. That should be coming up.
It's just those
under
gas
a
things
minute.
up in the
We're
top
gonna be
center
lighting
there. Those
just
are the
one of those Raptor
gas
sea levels in the
thrusters,
middle
if you
there.
want to call them, that they
This
just
is
vent to
not a
control
deorbit burn.
some
It's a
stuff.
demonstration of what we'll have to do for deorbit burns.
And when it
But
puffs really
we've done
bright,
this
that's
once
just using it
before.
to
This is
orient
something
itself
we're
and
really going to have to do when we're
control.
doing orbital missions. So it's a pretty
So
critical
far, so
test.
good. And the orientation in that bottom right
We
there looks
are
normal.
just
It
a
is
couple seconds
facing the
away.
right direction. It's got the black side down where the heat shield tiles are. That's good. Stainless steel doesn't do well directly
We're
in
about
the
20 seconds away,
atmospheric reentry.
So we got a little bit more time. So we are going to see one of those Raptor engines light back up. We are through the deorbit demo gate, so we should be seeing it momentarily.
Relight demo startup.
Oh, I love how the engines move. It's so cool. One lit. Oh, it's so cool. I love the gimbling on these engines. It's so, they move so much.
Second time we've done that.
There's a
Super
cool
exciting.
video of
Congrats to
the
team on
booster
this milestone.
with all 33 of them. They have like a
Very
dance they
exciting
do to
That was a
test all their
great show.
gimbling. It's so
I
cool.
get to do a mini version here. So again, that's going to be really critical for when we're doing deorbit burns. Like as you're going
All
through,
right,
which we don't
deorbit
have
burn
one of these.
successful.
Oh my God, they're so much fun. But like you're able to actually like light. Oh, Dan, turn it on. Light that engine. Not set my co-host on fire. And that's what we'll eventually do to, break out of orbit and come back down to Earth. So really cool to see.
Is that a
one of those
Starship
engines light
lighter?
back up again,
It's like a
in
blowtorch.
space. That was our last in-space thing.
Very exciting. We're going to be heading back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. So we're going to take another quick break, and we will see you soon.
Another 7 minutes. Okay. Well, let's hopefully they nail the re-entry. This is a big turnaround from the last 3 flights. So, they needed this. To be fair, all the problems on the last 3 flights were all different. So, they have not had a recurrence of the same problem. The last flight issue was... Let me check OBS here really quick. Window capture, properties, capture cursor. Why did it go black? Hello? What is going on with you? Why did you guys lose that? I just turned on cursor capture. Did that really make it go black? Oh, weird. It like picked a different window.
Starship is slowing for entry.
Okay, so... Hey, there's my cursor. Okay, we can see it now. Good. I can point to things now. Instead of just saying, that area up there. Up there. So we're reorienting. It's reorienting itself to be at an angle for re-entry. So that's good. What was I gonna... I got this out to point at something. I forget what it was now. Oh, I was gonna... If they show an inside view, I was gonna show what failed on the last flight. which clearly didn't fail this time, thankfully. Definitely getting into the daylight now, over in the Indian Ocean. The next flight will look the same on this ship, but the V3 after that, all of these things at the top here that are like heat shields on the top parts of the engine, those aren't going to be there, or they're going to be dramatically smaller because the engine itself will have a built-in heat shield, and it won't need all that extra weight and stuff around it. So they're going to look totally different. And they're going to look cool because they're all black. They're not the steel color or the whatever the name of the metal they use on these things is, but still waiting for replays from these other guys. I wanted to see the re-entry, but they're just stuck on the stream here watching and waiting for it to blow up, I think. So 1.6 million people watching this. Got a piece of ice about to fall off. Another one over here. Those are the little jets. As soon as they puff again, those will fly off. Or as we get to re-entry and it heats up, it'll be it'll melt. It won't last the re-entry. Interesting. I've not. What did they put these here for? This is new. This has got to be some. I don't know. I don't know why those are there. That's not a surface that gets hit by re-entry heat. So why are those there? Oh, that's some, that pink is plasma starting to build up. We have hit a good chunk of the atmosphere now. With the right side of the ship, too. That's good. It's the side that's supposed to hit it.
All right, so we are back. We are about 45 minutes into the 10th flight test of Starship. And as you can see, the light show has started. Re-entry has begun. We are starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Ooh.
We're moving about 5 times the speed
off.
of sound. And we're about to start
That's good that they're not necessary, but they're probably testing some adhesive or connection test to see if they survive the vibrations of light.
If we do make it all the way
That
down
one clearly
to the water,
failed.
who knows? But the goal of this part of the flight is to learn as much as we can about the ship's heat shield. A fully reusable, rapidly reusable heat shield for a spacecraft has never been done before. It's one of kind of the hardest engineering challenges still out there for us. And so this is the time to really dig in and get that data.
Yeah, absolutely. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, so we'll need information on how the ship's system ends up performing. And Starlink will also help us gather as much data as possible, which is really the main reason why we do these flight tests. Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data to help us rapidly iterate on Starship's design. And if the ship manages to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound.
Yeah, throughout history, a lot of times this is when you go into just a complete data and insight blackout, where that plasma sheath builds up around the outside of the spacecraft that blocks all of your signals that are trying to fight through to talk to either satellites out in space or towers down on the ground. Starship's big size kind of gives us a wake, but what really helps us punch through is the fact that we're using Starlink. We're operating at just a much higher frequency.
That's not
what
good.
We want to see. So we just saw some of the aft skirt just take a hit. So we've got some visible damage on the aft skirt. We're continue to re-enter though. And again, we are intentionally stressing the ship as we go through this. So it is not guaranteed to be a smooth ride down to the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, this angle of entry is way steeper than they usually do
across the vehicle. So seeing stuff like that is still valuable to us. We are trying to kind of push this vehicle to the limits to learn what its limits are as we design our next version of Starship. So 47 minutes, 45
So now the question is, did any of that stuff that just imploded
a little bit on re-entry already
damage an engine?
Continuing.
When they go to relay,
re-entry is going to take about 20 minutes or so until our planned splashdown. We were trying to splash down about 1 hour and 6 minutes into the flight.
Huh. We got stuff peeling off down here, it looks.
Yeah, and one day Starship is designed to land on Mars, where there are obviously no runways or other humans to help us out.
That little stuff popping off there, that's like
more traditional means
heat shield stuff.
And propulsive landing enables us to have more rapid reusability with these vehicles.
Liberating, which shouldn't be.
The ship itself, it's a little over 50 meters tall. We've got those 6 engines.
They do have a whole bunch of tests on here with the tiles. Like it's very possible that this part here that blew out, they have places where they've purposely removed tiles just to see what happens if something were to get through there. That may have very well been one of those spots.
Those kind of reaction
they've got some different types of tiles on there. Some active cooled ones. They've got some different types of ablative material to test. It's all an experiment. So, oh, look at that. This is the stuff that was falling off. It popped through the wing here, or the flap.
So if it makes it through those, we can say we're doing pretty well.
I hope all of those are like expected things, and there's like, okay, if that fails, we want to know. I'm hoping that's all somewhat expected. But this is still, regardless, this view is amazing. Like there were some videos from the shuttle reentry that they took out the window where you saw a little bit of this, but not like the entire outside of the ship and what it looks like.
That's not
how it forms around it.
Tanks or anything else that's kind of structurally critical for keeping the entire vehicle together. That obviously exposes
that
your
flap
engines.
is not happy.
So that could do
it's
some
flapping in the wind.
Burn. But for now, we are obviously continuing with this reentry. We are committed. Indian Ocean, here we come.
Yeah, I mean, this is hitting the Indian Ocean one way or another. Whether it's upright or in one piece, that's another story. But it is coming through at a controlled reentry, at least. So, at least I think at this point, they will avoid having the FAA require mishap investigation, because so far,
you were starting to see
everything is working as planned, and this part of it is explicitly in their license saying a controlled reentry, but it does not have to make it through reentry.
A little bit further into this reentry,
this is about as good as it could have gone this flight, even if this thing blows up. It's not going to blow up at this point, but it just disintegrates through here. And I've got some That's like stainless steel
We've
that's just
got
flapping
these
in the
cameras.
wind.
These cameras are really cool. We added these.
This
Several
burn through
flights ago,
happens
looking
way
directly
too
at the
much up here. They
flaps
got to figure this part
as
out.
not
But
just the
one
heat
thing
shield,
about
but
the
these
next
flaps, how they're
ships,
able
I
to
think,
control the vehicle, withstand
is that these are pushed a
that
little further
re-entry,
back, and this
the
won't
seal
be hit
locations,
by
so kind of
reentry as
where they
hard, I
connect
think.
to the ship itself are some
I
of the
don't
most
know.
critical.
That's a
We will
lot.
do missing tiles
But
on those where, again,
the first time they did this,
we're kind of being mean
it
to
was
the
way
Starship
worse
a
than
little
this,
bit.
and the
We're
flap
really trying to
still
put it through the
had
paces and
control
kind of poke
authority
on
of
what
what
some
it
of
needed
its
to
weak
do. It
points are.
flapped
We even
more than
have
it
missing
would have
tiles
normally, but
over
it
some
still
of
was
those
able to
fuel
control the
tank,
ship.
sections
That
of
little
the
bit
ship
there
itself.
not good.
So we're really trying to see what are our
If
limits.
it's hopefully it's not
Doing this
scratching.
over
These three don't, the
empty
vacuum
area
engines
over the
don't
Earth.
relight, I don't think, on re-entry. It's just the three middle ones, the sea levels.
Got our Raptors there. We are assuming we make it all the way down to the ocean in one piece. We will attempt a flip and a landing burn.
A little less of an
do
angle of
have
attack now.
At least one buoy, everybody's favorite camera person, out in the Indian Ocean right now, being powered by Starlink.
We are nowhere near
that's at our
peak
planned
heating,
landing
though.
location. So if
Or
we're
it might
able
be in
to
peak
get
heating,
any
but it's
live
going to
views
last
of
a
the
bit
ship,
longer.
that'll essentially
Gonna do
tell
some
you
more
that we
burnage.
nailed our target. Able to do that on our 6th flight test, do it in the daytime, which was really exciting.
But this is the data they needed. They've been waiting for 3 flights is heat shield tests and stressing the ship during re-entry. That's some crazy stuff going on over here.
All right, so
Look
we're
at this.
about 10 minutes
What is
until
going
we're probably
on
going to
there?
start hearing some of
It's
the
just
other
some
big
weird
milestones
flow
coming up.
of atmosphere because
in
of that
about
break
10
in the
minutes,
ship.
like Dan said,
That
Starship
engine,
will
that
be
that
transonic. This is going to be
vacuum
the
engine
period of flight where the
probably should
velocities
not
of
be
airflow
relit.
surrounding and flowing
if they
past
ever
the vehicle are
consider it.
concurrently
I don't think
below,
they would, but
at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74 and Mach 0.85, so that's 480 to 575 miles per hour or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and after transonic comes subsonic. That just means you're slower than the speed of sound. We're still well in excess of that right now.
wow.
But by the time we hit
The
subsonic,
Earth.
we're essentially belly
It's such
flopping
a
down.
beautiful
There's
planet
that
from
sunlight.
space
So we're seeing
when
the
you
Earth now
don't
come
see
back
the
into
borders
view.
of countries.
One of the other things we're doing during this, and you're going to see Starship kind of pitch in some pretty, not extreme ways, but a little extreme, as we're trying to really stress the structure of it, of the ship itself.
Oh, buddy.
Specifically those
Just
aft
hold
flaps,
together.
so the ones in the very
Would
bottom
love to
of
see
the
a buoy
vehicle.
cam of you splashing
we're
down
pushing not
upright.
just how well does the heat shield hold up, but how well does the ship structure hold up. We are pushing it beyond essentially what we think we'll have to fly at to do something like a return to launch site. So again, may not be a very smooth ride downhill, but we're doing that by design. We're really trying to find what are the edges that we can operate at, build up a good data set. But
clearly,
sun
this
up,
is too far.
Clouds and water down below
Or you got to
us.
do some work on the skirt
10 minutes,
because
we're a
that's
little less
just
than
too
10
much
minutes now
pressure on that
till we
skirt.
start hitting
I don't even think it burned through the
transonic
skirt. I think it
subsonic.
was
Once we
just
hit
too
subsonic, we're
much
basically just belly
pressure, and it just broke it. I don't think it could handle the pressure. It wasn't because they were at a very, like this model down here was almost straight up and down. That was very extreme. And I don't think that's not going to be their normal reentry attitude, I wouldn't think. Seems a bit excessive, but that's why they're doing this. See what it can take. I think we're through peak heating at this point. I think it's coming down. As things turns more orange, we're getting through the peak heating. It's more just
so about
fire
55
versus
and a half
plasma.
minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these flights to lift off in the evening here so we get these daylight views so we can get as good
I love
a
the
video
cameras.
as
I love the
possible
video.
on the ship, assuming we make it all the way down. We've got at least one buoy
I
powered
wish
by Starlink
every
that's
launch
out
provider
there
did this, but
in the
not every
landing
launch
zone
provider
in
has
the
their own
Indian Ocean,
satellite
hopefully giving us a
constellation
view
to
again. If
communicate
you see
to.
any live views, not from the ship itself, that means we nailed our landing target.
Starship has passed peak heating.
There you go, past peak heating.
All right, we just heard the call out that we're past peak heating, so
That's what I
things
thought
are
it looked
looking
like.
good so far.
Yeah, looking good.
Oh, that's the flap moving. Never mind. We're good. We're good. Always freaks me out with the camera on the flap when the
And at
flap
this
starts
point,
moving
again,
because it looks like the
flaps
ship's
are
going out of
controlling.
control.
This movement you're seeing is that forward flap moving to try and just maintain control, maintain attitude of the vehicle as we're coming down.
Show us some of those flap views again. I want to see how much of this burn through is happening. All this white coming off here is, again, the engine, the chill, just all those vents at the bottom. They're just venting.
Checking in
for
on
control.
one of our flaps. We got one of these cameras on all four of the flaps, two in the front, two in the
That
back.
flap does not look. Oh, come on.
Really
That
good
flap doesn't
close-up
look
views.
healthy. That one doesn't look healthy
As
either. Those lower flaps do not look
obviously
good.
don't have a camera
But
that
I
can
think
see the entire
a lot
heat
of
shield.
that
That's
is
that's
because they
kind
were
of the
coming in
best that we
so
can do.
steep. I don't think that
But
would
looking at
normally
those flaps
happen
is
if they
really
came in
those
at
are
a
just,
lower
you know,
angle.
super critical for controlling the ship. You have some ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're coming in, you can see in that indicator at the very bottom right that we
Like that's just
quite a bit.
it was too much. That angle was way too much. But the thing hasn't totally destroyed itself. So, and actually, that's not stainless steel. That is the ablative material from underneath, or on the sides here. You can see underneath the tiles. So it just clearly they got to figure out how to secure that ablative material better so it doesn't go straight to the stainless steel. And it's not just plain stainless steel, it's like a special SpaceX brand of stainless steel that they use. But it still melts. As you can see. It's just ripping away here. Ooh. At least that's not what holds the flap to it. This is what holds the flap to it. So it's got a ways to go before it's really, really bad. Ooh. Oh, we are almost vertical. Holy crap, they are pushing this thing.
A little bit toasty on the aft skirt of the vehicle as we continue
they
coming
are
in.
Pushing this thing. My God.
Again,
this
we
would
are
be
intentionally stressing
off nominal
the flaps
re-entry.
so we can learn all we can.
Yeah, that flap is not in a happy place.
All right, so now we're already well past peak heating.
Yeah, this will stop glowing probably in a couple minutes if it lasts.
48, 49, counting down to 48 kilometers in altitude. Expecting that transonic to come, so transitioning between the speed of sound and subsonic slower than the speed of sound in just a little under 4 minutes from now. And right now we've got kind of a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward velocity, and then eventually by the time we hit subsonic. All right,
so this is max Q flap load demo.
We are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps and really stress them out. So again, this is meant to test the extremes for the vehicle.
Wow. Ooh. Whoa. That would be a puke moment on that ship if they did that for a normal flight.
All right.
Damn.
See those flaps swinging out? Again, we're putting ship through the ringer on this flight in.
Damn. That's like it'd be like riding on the Vomit Comet plane that lets you get 0 G's and on Earth. That's what that I think would feel like.
Still maintaining control.
Got a little heat coming up the side here further than I think they probably want it to. This seems a little weakish, but we've seen worse. The first flight, that looked like freaking Play-Doh after the flight.
All right,
after
flaps earning their
re-entry.
paycheck today, getting through kind of that max stressing.
Definitely things looking good so far. We're about 2 minutes out now from Starship becoming transonic.
One cool thing to note as we get some of those views showing kind of the whole length of the ship, one of the changes we made after Flight 6 was to change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back the number of tiles significantly, as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to, I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it was on Flight 6, and we saw kind of wrinkling and dimples almost in the ship as we were creating these hot spots in the uneven parts of the heat shield. And so we, to kind of address that, we smoothed it out. That's why you've got kind of that nice smoothed out black line now on the ship. And just looking at it, we can see kind of a little bit of hot spot, a little bit of warping almost. Near the payload door, you can see a little bit of colored patina up above it, but we don't see those kind of deep, almost, they almost look like gouges on that. So it looks like that's been pretty successful. So, all right, we are less than a minute away from
definitely looks
transonic.
better for sure.
Again, pretty soon our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially go into our belly flop. If you watched some of the high altitude tests or suborbital campaigns, we were able to test that. It was a pretty fundamental, like, can this thing actually fly? And we were able to prove that out with that suborbital campaign. And that's what we're about to see shortly here.
Well, it's not burned up. You got a little character to the ship now. Thankfully, this wasn't planned to be reused. Now it's getting a little jerky because we are in the atmosphere and we got wind now. So
Starship itself
got to deal with all
is
kinds
subsonic.
of drag.
We are starting to chill the engines for a landing burn attempt.
So that means if we have an outer view, we should probably see some
a little over 2 minutes. Subsonic
vapors
Indian
coming
Ocean,
off the bottom of it. Yep, there you go. See all that is them cooling the engines.
There we go.
That's liquid oxygen cooling the engines.
Farewell, space.
Whew. That thing is toasty. Now we're getting to the belly flop.
Right,
you
so
can see
coming up
down
in
here
just a little under 2 minutes, so we're going to do the flip and the burn. So we're only using
almost horizontal.
those 3
We'll
center
go a
Raptor
little bit
engines,
down
the sea
on there
levels,
because
the
we're going
ones
to kind of
gibble,
glide
move
down
around and
with it.
steer.
My
Dipping the
goodness,
nose down
that
a
flap
little bit.
is, whew, it has seen better days.
Got
Lost some
2 of
tiles on
our
that one,
engines chilled in,
clearly.
waiting on one more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns for that initial flip. We eventually go down to just 2
Well,
Raptors for the end
It here is
of the
definitely
landing
stainless
burn.
steel, but that's just part of this flap here. It's just black.
Just about 1 minute now from that landing
Ooh.
flip and landing burn start.
We did not have views this far into it last time, into the belly flop. This is cool. If anything, this just shows how much this thing can take, even if it had an issue.
Structurally,
when it becomes
we're looking
operational.
good. Got good pressures in our nose cone for everything. About 30 seconds.
Going through the
And we're
clouds.
going to look for the flip. So Starship's doing its belly flop right now. We're going to do the flip. Swing out. Let's punch through some clouds first.
Oh. These flaps are doing work.
Here we go.
Starship landing burn startup.
Don't blow up. Don't blow up. Okay, it's vertical. It's flipped.
Seeing three engines. There's our flip.
Oh my God.
There's a
wow. Jesus.
There's a splashdown.
And boom. Wow.
Hey.
For stressing the crap out of that thing at re-entry and the damage it did, the fact that it pulled that off was crazy.
Man. Yeah, farewell Ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn, splash out of the Indian Ocean. There we go. Whew. All right. That was pretty awesome.
Incredible flight
cool, right?
today. For both
That
Ship
just
and
shows they hit the
booster.
target. The buoy was sitting right there. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
really incredible. So obviously we're excited here. It looks like everybody's excited over there. Tyler, how's it going over in Hawthorne?
We are super excited here in Hawthorne. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope you enjoyed those Starlink views. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed enormously to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. It was great being with you today. Back to you guys.
All right, let's see if these other guys are going to
incredible.
start
Huge
showing
congrats
replays
to all
now.
the teams
I want
here.
to see the booster
Again,
blowing up in the
we
Gulf.
lifted off from Starbase, Texas,
See,
right at the
just
top of our
hovered
window
there.
at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We saw a booster successfully lift us up through ascent, had a successful hot staging where ship continued on with its suborbital trajectory. Booster came back down, had that boost back burn,
Come on,
and a
X, let me
successful
double
landing
click
burn
out of
with
full
that
screen,
that was
please.
awesome.
engine
You
configuration
piece of
as well.
crap.
Yeah, and then Ship
Where'd my
continued
other
on
window
its
go? This
way,
one.
made it all the way into space. We got to see first ever payload deploy.
So exciting.
That was awesome. We got the door open.
We'll
8
see if they
Starlink
got a
simulators
replay
deployed.
that they'll show,
Relit that
but
Raptor engine, and then on
I'm looking
entry
at
we
these
probably
other
gave
guys
it
to
a
see
little
if they
bit
unload
of extra
something.
time in the oven, but made it all the way through re-entry. All 3 engines started up, landing flip, splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Promised maximum excitement. Starship delivered.
Most
So
definitely.
congratulations, all of our teammates.
Look at these
here at SpaceX.
contrails from planes
been
are
a year.
clearly flying over where the
Everybody that's
booster
worked on
came
this
down to
program,
look
this is what
for
we're
it.
working for. So big congrats to all of them. Thank you to all of our future customers too for your support.
And we'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Be sure to stay tuned to SpaceX on X for updates, more of the views. This is just a tiny amount of the views. We have so many views that we didn't get to feature on the broadcast. So we're going to be going through that over the next couple of days, and we'll be posting it all there.
Yeah, if you're interested in more launch coverage, head on over to spacex.com/launches for the
Well,
most
that was a
up-to-date information.
big win
In fact, we
for
actually
that
recently rolled out a new departure board featuring
space
our
program.
upcoming launches with details like mission name, launch and landing
'Cause
site, and liftoff time.
Had
So
that
be sure to
failed,
check it out.
it would have been
All right.
bad.
We just launched the world's biggest rocket. Again, dropped a couple satellites off, suborbital.
Incredible payload deploy for today.
Nailed that double header into the ocean, splashdown, time to go through the data. Really crazy cool to hit all those objectives today.
Yeah, huge shout out to all the teams who make this look easy. And thanks to all of you for tuning in, and we will see you back here for Flight 11. Good night.
No replays. We're just going to go straight to this and end it. Boo. All right. I need these other people to start showing replays. Hurry up. No, he's just super delayed. want to hear people talking. I want to see pictures. Let's see if they posted anything extra on here yet. No, it's just replays. Oh, we saw all that. Okay. Let's see here. Is come on. Where is a Starship? Okay. Starship. There we go. Somebody's got to be posting, right? That is a pretty cool vapor cone picture going up. All right, oh, we're getting replays. Here we go. This tab is muted.
It does not feel like that.
Yeah, but what is time? Like that happened apparently an hour ago, not 5 minutes ago. I don't know.
What was that?
Yeah. So Starship launched before all of this. So you cannot see our cameras right now, but like there's multiple different dimensions of contemplating life right now, and like
you could see our cameras if we had if you had the members multi-view open. Also, quick mention, thank you to the Rocket Ranch again for letting us be there, and thank you to the Margaritaville Beach Resort South Padre Island for letting us be here. That's where this view that you're looking at in this replay is from the top of the hotel. So that is that camera that we're looking at in this particular replay. I'm so excited to go through all of these replays. Oh my goodness. It went.
Yeah, I just want to see the booster go boom.
I mean, this looks... And Jack, of course, and like Jack Ryan, we all have seen from a hotel. This view right now, how you see it like there, this is very representative how it looks like from the hotel.
Oh my God.
Like this is absolutely 101. That's what you see.
Hold, please.
100%.
I'm getting rid of
equivalent to what you see with your eyes.
this game in the background, so it stops making noise in my ear. You guys can't hear it, but I can hear it. It's annoying me.
Yeah, that huge dust plume that's kicked up. We're a little bit closer now.
There we go.
I believe from our north site. Let's take a look at that launch.
This is the one that you guys have.
I mean,
so I
the
gotta
sky
put this
conditions
here, huh?
today so much better than they were the last 2 days over the weekend there. Third
There we
time
go.
for this particular launch attempt. Fourth time is the charm for Starship Block 2. It is all the way to the Indian Ocean. Just look at this machine go.
I'm looking at my heartbeat and it dropped.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I got an alert that my heartbeat had dropped.
That is gorgeous.
Trying to see if I can see somebody that got a picture of it hitting the Gulf.
Just watch it go. Just ascending into the sky.
It really feels in the moment like it's just, you know, up and gone. Looking at this, it's like, this is really slow. I agree. If Kevin was audible to the stream, I heard it in my ear. Kevin was like, it's crazy how slow it is. It is. It's crazy how slow it is, even though in the moment we're riding the adrenaline wave, and it just seems like it goes by in the blink of an eye. Unless I'm just dumb and tired and that was already slowed down. I don't know.
I'm gonna change to...
I think this could be from the outpost, wide view from at least that direction, looking over to the launch site. Huge plume as we expect.
This might be river.
Nice.
Go.
Yep, you see my
Very,
whole desktop
very
now.
similar
Cool.
shots either way. Just literally just a few
Just
houses
pull
down the
over
road.
windows as I find cool pictures.
I have thoughts.
I've so...
Many.
So that is, I mean,
One in
it's
particular
blurry,
that it's
but
sort of flying around my
definitely
brain because we,
brown.
you know,
It's
before
it's
this launch, a lot of people were asking,
very
well,
strange
if this
coloring
flight
on
is
that heat
successful,
shield.
what
I
are we
was
gonna
not
do on the next
expecting
one?
it to be
I
that
think I know
color,
what they're gonna do on the
unless
next-
we're looking
what
at
they
the
are gonna be doing on the
non-heat
next one
shield side. I
is
don't
improving
think
that
so,
re-entry,
though.
right? Like,
I think that's the heat shield side.
just getting it better, getting those ad flap shenanigans off.
It's
the
just hard to
board
tell on
and
that
getting a
pixelated
much cleaner
view
re-entry. I
because
mean,
that's in the middle of
that
the
was
freaking ocean.
amazing
See if I
that
can
they
find
were able
something
to do
better.
all of that on target as well. On flight 4, they did not go on target when
Right,
they
they had some deviation.
Flap. Exactly, but this was on target. We saw that buoy cam. Boy, that's amazing.
Yeah.
This will be from the outpost.
Right up on the tower there, looking over the grass and the water. Jack, is it appropriate to call these floodplains? They do flood sometimes.
Is it?
Yeah, I always kind of waffle on what to call them: mud flats, salt flats, floodplains. But yeah, I think that's fair. We've gotten a lot of rain, as you may remember, in the last couple days. So the mud flats are currently largely water flats, estuary, bay. I need to get better at geology. Geology, yeah.
You mean geography?
Geography. Can you tell that I am fading fast from the adrenaline rush?
I
need to get better at geometry, you guys. I don't know what a bay or an estuary is.
Yeah, I'm just this was. It's always like a roller coaster because you're going through so many emotions.
Crazy
in
what
a
it
single
looks
hour,
like at
and you're like constantly
night
under
in different
a huge amount of
parts.
adrenaline. And I mean, everybody that is
This
watching
is,
has the same feelings as we are right
Puerto
now.
Rico.
And
Going
that's
over.
amazing because like the power of engineering also
You get a big old
brings so many people
jellyfish
here
effect
together and
because of the
enjoying something. I think
sun
that's just a lovely
just
thing.
far
Like,
enough
yes,
over
it's
the
a
horizon,
technological
but
and
that's
amazing
so
thing,
high
but
it's
it's also
still
cool
lighting
that
up
we
the
just
exhaust
enjoy all of
plume of
this.
it.
Humans were able to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. A
That's a great
team
thing.
of humans built the largest flying machine ever made, and they just launched it from South Texas, and it safely splashed down in pretty much one piece in the Indian Ocean barely an hour later. I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. See the crowds.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
at the ranch.
like SpaceX isms, made on Earth by humans. I love that. I love that so much. It's so much cooler than whatever, designed in California or whatever. Like, who cares?
Made in China.
Made on Earth made on Earth by humans. How cool is that? We can do this. We can do all kinds of really awesome stuff if we just put our dang old minds to it and commit and don't waffle and don't design by committee and you know all the things. Thank goodness today worked.
Yeah.
Yes, thank goodness today worked, because if it didn't, we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Finally. The sheriff there, I think, as well. They'll be working on safing the they work on safing the area remotely, right? But they'll be working on
thousands of
freaking ads. Suck it.
Can be reopened as expected. Let's get Flight 11, right? We want to see that booster static fire, that ship static fire. Also getting that second pad ready for launches of Block 3. I cannot wait, guys. It's just going to be amazing.
Oh, give me a replay of the booster hitting the Gulf. Somebody has to have had it already. Right?
Can I just say, because we're just discussing this, I will just, we're just discussing if something is slow-mo or not. I always forget how slow Starship sometimes seems because of its size. Like, it's sometimes you see it, creeping off the pad very slowly.
But with all the latency issues, did he hit a pre-programmed button thing?
Keep that one up there. Get rid of this live chat. There we go. Get rid of that live chat. Don't trust people talking in chats.
That's a cool shot. Yeah, I can tell. I'm excited to see the recording.
Tim is a little better at
frame
commentating and not just
dropped over the air fiber, but that is cool.
That
is impressive.
Overly excited.
God, it ended up being a beautiful day for a launch. Really surprisingly.
Maybe he'll have a picture of the Gulf first. I went back and looked at what he's shown already. And so far, it's just been.
Next shot's gonna be booster landing in real time, and then we'll show you booster landing in slow-mo.
Perfect.
I love when you see the interaction there of the rocket going super.
Exactly what I wanted was booster landing. I want to see that thing hit the water.
So cool. All right,
there we go.
Coming back in through re-entry.
Maximize that.
Tracking cam, real time. You can just
Thing
see
is
those grid fins
flying.
working. That is so, I love that. That is so cool. A little shimmy. It looked like it had a little yaw motion there.
Yeah, it did.
13, well, 12 of the engines, it sounds like, lit. And then they go down to 3, but only 2 of them on the center ring. Man, we were shooting through some atmosphere there, weren't we? This is far out.
Yeah, a lot of that shimmy might just be atmospheric
And you can
conditions
tell
causing
sat
it.
there and actually hovered above the ground or above the ocean. And then
And it
just
shuts
turned it
off.
and it just let itself fall. So it'd break
Boom.
up. That was intentional.
That's awesome.
So you don't have debris, floating off. And look at this.
Slow-mo of it hitting.
Watch this in slow motion. Are you kidding me?
Boom. Oh, that is so cool.
That's the good stuff. And that, my
Now,
friend,
did the
is why we
did the methane tank explode though? Because I only saw the engine section and the oxygen.
that is
You'd think there'd be a secondary explosion for the methane though at the top. Is there going to be one? Maybe when it hits the water, it will.
Wow.
Because if it doesn't, that's still a pressurized tank that's going to float.
It looks like paper, but that probably weighs 2 tons. And if it landed on you, it would just crush you in an instant. It's incredible.
I'm waiting for a secondary explosion.
Great work, team. I don't know how you pulled it together with all of our absolute gremlins. Impressive. Seriously, very impressive. I don't know how you guys always do this kind of stuff. Wow. Yeah, absolutely incredible. From Vegas Brent, another $100 super chat. Thank you so much for the coverage from the Replica AI Discord community. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm not familiar with the Replica AI Discord community, but thank you so much for saying hi and popping in here.
All right, Tim, unless you're going to do replays, I don't want to hear you.
All my gear off and helping DOS out, so I'll let you guys keep watching replays. And I do need to get out there and see what the heck happened to that camera. So
CP11 was doing. It
man.
was doing so good until the very end.
CP11.
And then over it
Look at
goes.
that.
That's like going
Just
slowly.
gets knocked over. Here comes the big gust.
That's annoying, Jack, right? Because it's a dome, right? So
It's annoying for a variety of reasons, not the least of which.
Oh, there it goes at the very end. Oh no.
It's not like we don't know that that's going to happen at that location. It's the closest spot that we have the cameras. We'll fix it for the next one.
We put it there.
Hey, Jack, it also fell in sand.
Adrian, stop it. We had a good day today. Why do you want to do psychic damage to me? Stop rolling D20s over there. I'm like, I got no AC, okay? I'm tired.
You never know when vicious mockery will hit you, Jack.
Oh my god, this is the most D&D conversation we've ever had on stream. Okay, for real though, I'm gonna go give them a hand on the roof. These replays are crazy. Oh god, how am I supposed to walk away from? Look at the orange and all right. I gotta go help. I'll be back maybe.
It's orange.
Or maybe I'll abandon you. It's orange, like me.
And now it's
orange.
brown.
Buy the patch. Okay, bye.
Look at that plume grow. Oh, just look, zoomed in from the highway site as well. I always love this shot looking through the tower. Like, head-on view of Starship.
And the arm. Look at the arm. There
Bottom
it goes.
arm, not the 2 top arms.
Yeah, not the chopsticks. This is slow down. You cannot tell
This
me
is
that's
100%
real.
slowed down.
Yeah.
I don't know what Carson was talking
That
about.
arm flies out of there to get away from that
that
blowtorch coming at it.
Definitely struggling a bit to play out all of our
Yeah,
views.
the other one we saw earlier that was real time. This is definitely slowed down at least half speed, judging by how it's going up. He says it's not the server, so it might be that you pull things wrong, Carson. Just saying, and I'm throwing you under the bus here. But it's
the least technological person at NSF throwing somebody under the bus for potentially getting something wrong with technology.
First of all, I'm not really good at technology. Second, it's also a very time critical thing, right? Because as soon as this thing lifts up,
Why was that
"Let's
smoke?
pull,
Why was that
pull."
so
And many
dark?
errors is
That
common
feels
when you're
like
trying to go fast, right? So
something weird. cracked or
Oh my god.
It's all about
rushed or
pulling-
something.
throwing him under the bus. I also understand.
That's
that
an odd
people
color, I
pull this
feel.
quickly.
I don't know why that
How did this
looks that
happen?
way. I'd expect it to be much more white
I
because
don't
of
know.
it
It happened.
vaporizing the water.
The thing,
Because
is it
that's
seems
the
it's in the ocean,
flame
and I mean, both
deluge that they use. It shoots water up
Yeah,
and then
I
it
guess.
ignites.
And that's by
And
design.
it
They
should
plan to
mostly
leave this
stay like this
This
color.
is honestly, I mean, Alex, anybody that tries to spin this to anything else than a huge
Maybe it's
success
just.
would be
I mean, that's not that bad.
absolutely
There, this view doesn't
wrong,
make it
right?
look as
Like,
bad.
Yeah,
anything
I think
you
it's just
could have
because of the
expected from
orange
this
color
happened.
of the exhaust.
Yeah, you can.
And the
be
lighting
super,
just
super
made it
duper
look
picky.
bad,
Like,
but that's
one of
just
the center engines, one of the middle engines on the super heavy got out.
That's just
on ascent. Cool. You
stuff.
can be picky about that. You
Just
can be picky.
lighting.
Oh, one of the aft flaps on the ship broke off and things like that. Not broke off, but you know what I mean, right? We saw that mini rut, if you will, that mini thing. that was
Already
like a
bringing trucks
small
back in to
explosion.
start
They'll figure that out. Like, this is the whole
refilling
thing, right?
things. Jeez.
Things happen when you're flying.
The
in
first
something.
time
This
they
is test
launched
flight,
this, it
right?
was like
And it sounds
it was
cliche,
almost
and I know,
the next day
but look,
before they
nobody
let
else is
anybody
trying
back near
this.
the pad.
If you want to complain,
The fact that there's already a
go and
truck, a
build it
resupply
yourself. I don't
truck
know.
going
that seems
in
very,
is
very
crazy.
actually not good to say, but you know what I mean.
But I
right?
mean, they have
There's
to
no other
because
carrier
otherwise it
that's
just
trying
sits there
this
and
scale of operations and trying to bring
that
both
might be
stages back
water. I don't
and all
know.
that,
I don't
and
know
then
what
trying
that
to
tag is
reuse
on the
them.
back of that. Maybe
So,
nitrogen?
yeah.
I want
It's
to point out.
unprecedented.
But
I want to. I want to be pointing outing that people are like, oh, but the ship exploded, the booster exploded. That was both basically always
expected.
gonna happen. The booster shut down its engine 150 meters or so above the ocean. What did you expect
Yeah.
would happen? Like, that was the planned shutdown location. And the ship, yes, there is a scenario in which with a lot of
You
luck,
just gonna
the tanks
talk to
stay
him or you gonna
intact
show us more
after
video?
dropping, but
need a lot
that
of
was...
I want
Yeah,
video.
that's a lot of luck and not expected. So
And pull that to the
losing
screen
both
so I can
stages
keep an
is
eye
very
on it.
much part of the
Says-
design here.
Yep. Now we need to get to ship 38. I'm mostly sure they're gonna be flying booster 15. It's got engines already, and it's been in the Mega Bay for a while. So I'm mostly sure that they're gonna be rolling out booster 15 probably in the next week or two. We're gonna get that booster static fire test. They'll modify the launch mount for ship testing. They're gonna test ship 38, and hopefully, maybe in October. I'm thinking October for the next flight. I don't know what you guys think. I think October, maybe if they are super unlucky, like they have issues with testing or whatever before the flight, maybe it slides into November. I don't know, but I'm thinking October for flight 11, and then we'll see if those same issues reoccur. That's the whole point of this, right? Those flaps on the aft end of the ship need to behave, and I'm sure they're probably gonna have some experiments for the booster. Not sure what, but they'll probably have some more experiments.
Whew.
Was that long
Yeah, I
enough,
mean-
Ryan?
No,
He's
I
still
think
doing
we
Sorry,
he's
I will be completely honest. I just took a 2-minute break just to go and refill my drink because it is rather hot in the studio here, and
Yeah.
I've just been literally waving my door open and closed to try and get some of the colder air from outside into the room to try and cool it down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be maybe I'm on copium, maybe I'm a bit of an optimist. I am going to say 4 weeks. I think. What's the date today? 26th of August? 26th of September. I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out at this point. I'm going to be
do it on the
honest.
25th of
Because they have
September,
they
and then it's
have
my
a
birthday. That
booster
would be
with
an
a
awesome birthday
flight
gift while I'm
history,
on my road
with a
trip.
no testing history. They have a ship.
It'd be
which is
freaking
getting
cool.
ready, and
I would take
we
a
are
break
expecting
from whatever I was
essentially
doing
rigged
to watch
that
another
ship
launch. I
testing
love
mount
this crap.
in one go. They cut off the truss structure in one whole piece. They removed the SQR in one piece. I think they could, essentially reattach it in an afternoon. Fingers crossed. It's a bit janky, but fingers crossed. The last flight.
Yes, it's a very MacGyver-y solution,
be
but
too
hey,
far
it
away.
worked.
Gage's track here with one of the robotic cameras.
Yeah, I mean, that vapor could... Like, the crazy thing is, remember in ancient times when we talked about that amazing vapor cone? Like at somewhere in a weird thing that happened before this? Like, so much happening.
Yeah. And I believe this is Das track.
So this is the Xbox controller track.
It pitches over so early. I feel like if they just wait an extra 3 seconds to do that and adjust their trajectory, they wouldn't torch the freaking tower and pad as
You
much.
can see that roll program, the flaps moving.
So
Oh,
That's true. That I mean,
Well,
that
you know
when we
what,
first
the
saw it, I
flaps
thought the
moving
roll
were
was
replacing
weird, but
vision.
then that
They still
is
wiggle a little bit. We saw
every
a little
launch
bit
you
of
hear
those,
about it, and
onboard
like the
cameras
shuttle
yesterday
rolled
lift
as
off,
soon
they
as it
still
launched
wiggle
as
a little
well.
bit, probably from the air rushing through.
I don't know why they
Got our
do that,
Dune
but there's
cameras
probably
here.
some
Oh,
aerodynamic
because
reason
it's
they do
lined up
that.
with that pillar of the OLM. You can see ignition. It doesn't get washed out by the plume.
Wonderful.
It doesn't get knocked over. Fingers crossed, like our other Dune cameras did. Look at this
Wow.
ascent. How
Wow.
magnificent!
Oh my God.
How
Getting
majestic
roasted.
is that? Oh my goodness! 33 Raptors burning. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful.
And it's about to get knocked over by that plume.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. Like, it is quite a testament to SpaceX. Just 2 months basically after such a huge setback
I
that
want to
has
look
been
at
Ship 36
before
explosion,
pictures of the
to be
heat
here
shield
and having basically
and see if there was
fulfilling
stuff
all
missing in
goals.
those spots on the
All gold flight. I mean, look at this. Oh,
skirt and on the
beautiful.
flaps,
from
because
here
I
on,
know there was a
next
bunch of
slide
tiles
again,
missing
it's
on
improving
purpose.
this, and then we go to block 3.
I
Block
wonder
3
how
has
much of that
lots
was
of more exciting
expected to
things in
happen.
store, because they're gonna have ships with docking mechanisms.
I don't know,
to be
the
able to
explode
get
that it wasn't really an
that
explosion,
propellant
but like
orbit.
the
Wow, look at that. Another
destruction
meta
of
point as
that piece of skirt was
I want
probably
to, if I may, Kevin, should I do a quick rundown of all the things we now have, because there's so much that.
Go ahead.
If you go to the print section in the top left, you can see all of these amazing prints that we are now up there. All of the flight, of course, not only from this flight. There's also pre-flight pictures and everything down there below. Amazing. Everything. I think you will find something for your taste there. And of course, if you go to the collections tab at the top, if I may, Kevin, then we also have the re-entry redemption designs available on all kinds of items, including stickers and t-shirts and hoodies for the Call to Time. If you want that, that is still quite amazing and now available. If you want that, I think it's a cool design celebrating the success of Ship 37. I have to say this, celebrating the success.
Well,
that's the crazy thing I can say here. And then
I'll give them 30 more
last but not
seconds to
least,
get done
Kevin,
with
if we go to
their
collections again and to the Starship Flight Collection,
sales
I wanna, of
pitch and
course,
see if they do
talk
more
about our
replays. And if
patch,
they don't, then
our
we'll probably
Starship
call
Flight
it.
10 patch still available. We still have some more. So if you want this beautiful patch, shipping late September, early October, that's still available in the store. I'm so thankful for Jack's work, and I'm so thankful for being able to present this to all of you, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Again, the store is a good way to support us, and I kind of wanted to mention that while we are still here. So thank you, everybody.
I don't know. Sorry if I'm throwing you under the bus here, Jack, but are you back with us, or are you just de-rigging?
Just de-rigging, but also high, but also de-rigging, and I heard Adrian was doing the patch thing, and I'm wearing the patch shirt, and I just want to say once again, thank you, store team, because it's the best patch we've done.
Are we gonna do replays of the SpaceX views?
Oh no, we're gonna do replays of us. Perhaps.
Oh no.
Maybe? No.
Oh
no,
yes.
don't need to do that.
It was probably a fat finger.
Look at that! Wow.
I think this is one of the. That
That's
one's
sped up.
definitely not real
That is-
time. I think that's
yeah.
sped up a bit.
That's sped up.
I think Carson is. I think Carson is messing with the speed slider here, because that was a bit quick. But I think this one is
Carson
sped
at
up
this
as
point
well.
is like, oh, you thought the previous was slow-mo? Watch this.
And I think this is DAS's wide spotter camera. Just look at the plume here, guys. The plume is twice as long as a 120-meter tall rocket.
Yeah, so that plume is about 200 meters long.
Just incredible.
I mean, can we at some point, Kevin? I'm throwing this to you at some point, not yet. Can we look at that? Let's say violent event before the re-entry. I want to look at that again. Once
Alright,
we
I'm gonna
have
go
time
Is
later.
Jack's view?
That might be my feed. Yeah. Yep, that's
What were you
it. Sorry.
thinking, Jack?
The shaking is me firing off the stills camera that's mounted on the same mount.
Oh, okay.
And then here
Look
I'll
at that
detach.
plume.
Here I'll detach the tensioner for the tilt lock, and then start tracking it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So remember how Max got that insane shot of the vapor cone?
Oh.
We didn't get that here from South Padre. You never know what the vagaries of launch are going to bring, and that's why we have multiple people in multiple locations with multiple different types of tracking rigs, because vapor cone time is in about 3, 2, 1. That's about when the vapor cone happens.
That was smooth tracking, by the way, Jack. I gotta say,
you.
you did not have any Xbox controllers or anything, right?
Yeah, Das and I almost called him John. What's wrong with me? Das and I do sort of a John Henry thing every time, where or D. We have some people on robotic trackers and we have some people on meat trackers, which are human-powered trackers with like a hand on a tripod arm, and both have different utilities. If the electronics on the robot tracker could go down, you're going to want to be able to have meat skills, for lack of a better term. But yeah, there's a whole reason we do things the way we do, and it extends not just to individual, photographers or videographers. It also extends to how the sites are built, the electronics at each site. Like, we're all about redundancy. So thank goodness for the team over on the other side of the canal for being able to get that frickin' vapor cone. That's
and
some
the
meat
glinting
skills.
of the flaps as it rotates.
Absolutely.
That's so
okay,
cool.
I'm gonna go keep breaking down. I can't wait to watch the rest of these replays. I know you guys are gonna keep watching the replays. Oh, with the cone. Oh, the cone. Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Look at that.
It's just like when we see this with Falcon 9, every single flight there's something amazing with the vapor cone. The same thing is happening now with Starship. It's like every single flight of Starship, it just the vapor cone just gets better.
That was exceptional.
Jack, very quickly before you go, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is your first launch from the hotel. All the other ones you've been like at the Southwest, at the Rocket Ranch, or at the River Lot. How did this view compare to the Rocket Ranch view?
That's where they lost the engine, a little orange.
I wouldn't say
you can
one
tell they
is
lost the engine
necessarily
because there's
better
some
than
extra
the other.
color in the
certainly is a much different
plume.
view. From the outpost, it's sort of like
So,
the rocket flies.
who knows why
away
it
from
flamed
you.
out, but it flamed
but
out
when
for
the
some
booster's
reason.
coming back, it really feels like it's directly on top of you. It's almost creepy. It's amazing. It's similar to how when you see an RTLS of a Falcon 9 at Vandenberg, if you're right there at Ocean and Renwick, that viewing location, it looks like Falcon 9's coming down on top of you. The same thing happens at the Rocket Ranch outpost with the booster when it's coming back for a catch. It's wild. However, from South Padre Island, it's more like the rocket lifts off and then sort of goes past you. Instead of going away from you, it's more perpendicular, if that's I need to get better at my geology. But yeah, the thing is it's a different view. It's not necessarily better or worse, but the view we had today from the top of the Margaritaville Beach Resort, South Padre Island, was absolutely exceptional. And yeah, I have no complaints. I mean, yeah, we got that little cloud in the way, but that just as easily could have been on the other side of the canal, and we could have gotten vapor cone, and the people at the outpost could have not. I'm reminded of Starship Flight 1, where the vehicle from our river lot ascended straight into clouds after like 5 seconds. Meanwhile, everybody over on the island was able to see, the thing doing cartwheels and all kinds of crazy stuff. So you never know what you're going to get on launch day, and that's part of our superpower is we have cameras everywhere. So on the off chance that you're somewhere out here and can't see it, don't fret. Oh crap, I should probably help DOS. All right, I'm going to go. Love you guys. Bye. I'll be back maybe.
And I think this is the BTS camera view from... We can actually watch DAS in real time. Well, not real time because it's a replay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can check if Jack is really helping.
Controller. Yeah. We could watch DAS. I think he might still be setting up at this point. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just making sure it's recording. I want to see the Xbox controller action. Oh. Looks like he's counting the cameras to make sure he's not forgotten one of them. We'll keep watching.
But that tent really helped, I think.
Yeah, that shade very helpful from the sun there, because of course we had clear skies.
This guy, he's got this motorized mount hooked up to an Xbox controller to control it.
But I do
It's
have to
pretty
say,
funny.
these viewing conditions so
Okay,
much
the
better,
producer
so
is scrolling
much
by.
better. Yeah, look, oh, he's got the Xbox controller in hand.
There we go.
Look, he's
Ignition.
in that forward-leaning stance. He's in game mode.
Oh, it's a replay.
Yeah, it's a replay of the.
It took me a bit.
Oh my goodness, Adrian. Oh my goodness. It's daylight, and you just realised it's a replay. Never mind. But look at Das go with his Xbox controller.
Oh my
and look
god,
at
you
the
can see
rig
the
on
camera?
the left.
Yeah.
Yes, the camera does move, Adrian. Keep an eye on the rig, because it will point up and then move to the left. Start panning to the left. So
People
cool.
in chat say he's gaming, he's logged in.
Yeah, he's very locked in.
It's the meme of, like, you know, leaning in.
So one thing about doing
It's a
photography
gamer
is
stance.
you miss to see it with your own eyes. Like, he's just staring at these screens, and he doesn't even get to watch it in real time.
With the tracking camera. Look at that. And he
Now
takes
you
one
can
quick
see
look.
him getting nervous where it is.
Oh, maybe he lost it for a moment there. He was looking
Yeah, the
trying
clouds,
to
I think,
reacquire.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the clouds. So looking to reacquire with the Mark 1 eyeball, and with the super long
And I
telephoto tracking
think
camera as well.
successfully doing so because the camera is tracking again.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is like, by just pointing the camera, looking past the camera. He's like no-scoping this thing right now.
Yeah, as chat said, locked in.
There we go. Look, literally pointing straight up that camera as he waits to reacquire the vehicle. Look at that. This is definitely sped up, by the way. That's quickly in real time.
Yeah, if that's doesn't it's not like that supersonic speed.
I want to see what this thing captures with the booster coming down. Can we please see that next?
As a judge, my
Oh, you
reputation
stupid
is
ads.
everything. So when I discovered my personal information, including my home address, was
I don't trust you as a
You
judge.
can see the launch plume in the background as well.
I think he's preparing for re-entry, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth.
Whew. You can see basically how the booster's going down because the camera's going down.
Yeah. And it's pointing, 90 degrees to the left, so you can really see how far offshore that booster is, even though it has done a boost back burn. The booster still, reversed its horizontal momentum to come back to site, but of course not going for that catch this time around, just like the last flight.
There's so much you have to analyze about this and like watch on a multiple times before you fully understand. It's gonna be a lot.
Some people joking that the aft skirt thing was like the orbital sniper. And somebody just threw space debris at the thing.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully not. I'm not sure if...
I could watch this stuff all night, but I do have to adult early tomorrow, so I need to get out of here. So...
I think this is real time, Das.
It's been fun.
I think it's slowed down a bit.
Thank you for watching.
Still looking for that booster.
Might be doing something tomorrow. I don't know. That's the wrong thingy.
That's a good track. Lost track of time. I have no idea how long this.
So I will talk to you all later, and have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Ciao.